streaming and gaming.
You're streaming and gaming simultaneously?
I'm streaming while I'm beaming. All right.
You're in a special place today, aren't you?
My friend, when am I not in a special place?
You having a good day today?
Every day is a good day, you know?
All right, good.
Every day, another beautiful day.
Every day you wake up breathing, it's a good day. It's another chance for another good day.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, man.
Yeah. It's not
Feeling
my
like
best
an
day.
absolute champ right now.
Well, compared to me, you're probably like a superhero right now. I'm barely like I feel like the Swamp Thing just crawled out of the muck, you know? It's like barely human. Just have the vague human form.
Yeah. Crawling out of the darkness.
Yeah, I've got some I've got some cold medicine coursing through my veins at the moment. I just took a shower, actually shaved for the first time in like 4 days. Feels nice. So I feel vaguely human. And I'm hoping I can put together maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours here of energy. That might be ambitious. That might not happen, but we'll have to see. And you're here to back me up, which is great. So that's what friends are for.
Teamwork.
There you go. All right, so let's... Oh, okay. I was wondering if it went private again. I was wondering if it did that thing where it switched back to private. We got Burso and Alex in the house. Hi, good to see you guys. Jeez. All right, so, okay, man. Hello there. Good to see everybody. Go ahead and I gotta like the stream. I'm gonna like the stream. I think I can like the stream that way. I don't even know if that's what like the stream does. All right, so let's catch everybody up. Let's catch everybody up on what's going on. So if you don't know, I've been sick. I've been out of commission. I streamed on Tuesday. We did the Tuesday takeover, but I knew I was sick then. I suspected. I knew it was coming. And by Wednesday, I was out. I was done. So I've been out of commission for several days. Obviously, there's a lot going on right now. Son, we're on your account, by the way. So right now we're just staring at your Bastion. If you want to,
you are.
At least do some campaign for us. Come on, you know that's what we expect when we're on your screen. We see some 12-3.
You little 12-3 action. Nah, champion training's done.
We've got some clan boss. That's good too.
Some clan boss action.
Okay, so this is the way things unfolded. Was it Friday? Friday, the HH, like Hell Hades free to play 2024 content creator challenge opened. So we started our account Friday night. So we did the live stream. That was fun. And then I live streamed for 16 hours because Hell Hades raided me with like 1,000 people. We had hundreds of people in our live stream. It was our biggest live stream ever. So I live streamed for 16 hours.
Very cool.
Which was not, which was fun, but which was not conducive to like being an arrested place. Now on Sunday, so I live streamed until Saturday. What time did I stop live streaming? I live streamed from something like 4 p.m. until 8 a.m. or something, 7:30 a.m. I think. And then I went to bed. And then on Saturday, I went to sleep for like 3 hours. Got back up, live stream again on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I had a baby shower to go to. So I went to the baby shower. Now, we'd been planning this for weeks. We knew it was coming. Our friends were coming in from out of town for their baby shower. One of our friends, she grew up on the East Coast. So this was like their East Coast baby shower for their friends and family here. And then they live in the Midwest. So they'll go back there and do another one. But so we had planned to do the inaugural Sun stream. And so, Sun, you had your very first Sun stream on Sunday. And how long did you stream for? You did a long stream, didn't you?
Yeah, I went for what, probably like 6 hours or so, 7 hours.
Yeah. pretty solid for the first inaugural Sun stream. How'd that go? What were the highlights? Like, I noticed the.
Well, I was hanging out in my cupboard, you know,
right?
Really just with the people. It was a great time.
All right.
We were having a good time. You know, we had some friends stopping by. Yeah, it was pretty good. We were hanging out. We were having some talks. You know, some beautiful talks. Some wisdom being shared.
Oh, look at that! Ain't that lovely?
And you know, it was all an all around lovely time.
Yeah, I popped in for a minute, and I got completely harassed by both you and all of the audience members for some reason.
People.
Everybody watching was just like taking shots. But no, it was fun. It was great to see you having so much fun with it, and everybody. It was a nice stream.
Yeah,
it's a good stream. Fun. And then, so then after that on Monday, you know, I didn't play basically at all on Sunday. I was gone the whole day. Our friends came back and stayed with us, so we spent, you know, the evening hanging out with them, and then got them off to their appointments on Monday morning. Was already feeling a little bit like just like the hints of a tickle in my throat. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just allergies. So Monday, try to catch up with the HH account. Like that was the whole goal on Monday. I'd missed an entire Sunday. It was only the second day, really. It's like, you know, because it was Friday night to Saturday night to Sunday night. By Monday morning, you know, I was already a full day out of 2.5 days. Like I was a full day behind out of 2.5 days worth of account. So trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Played a lot, streamed. And then on Tuesday, we had our Tuesday takeover. So we did that stream. And by the end of that, I knew I was in trouble. So on Tuesday, our friends contacted us and let us know that they had COVID. Only one of them did. The other one has been able to escape it. My wife and I were already starting to feel not great. So Wednesday was out of commission. Didn't stream on Thursday. Friday, through the miracle of cold medicine, was able to put together like 45 minutes of energy, and we actually put out a video, which did pretty well, which was nice.
Yeah, really did.
Yeah, so the thing is, that video on Friday was the first actual video I think we put out since the previous Saturday. We'd only done live stream.
Yeah,
I think we did put out a short. I was able to get out a short. What day did we do the short? Wednesday?
I believe so, yeah.
I was like, that's all I could muster the energy for. I did a 3-minute recording and you turned it into a 1-minute short. It was not a bad short, but it was like, that's literally all I could muster. Now, yesterday I felt decent. Not when I say decent, I was like, I wasn't death warmed over. Oh, and during the midst of this is the other big thing about this is, so actually 2 things. I had decided to do the fusion on my Noob versus Pro account. And so did you. I didn't know that you were going to do this. We didn't announce that you were going to do this. So you decided to do the free to play or the free to play. You decided to do the fusion on your Noob versus Pro account, which is your only account. So obviously it would be on your Noob versus Pro account. And so I was doing the fusion on my main account and my Noob versus Pro account while I started the HH gaming account. And I was missing the Sunday for the baby shower, which turned into COVID. So somehow, in my delirious state, I was able to not lose either fusion. So the fusion is actually almost complete on both accounts. And so today we'll take you through that and kind of show you the progress there. Somehow I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if I should be proud or ashamed. Like, I don't know if I'd be like, yeah, it's like,
I mean, you could only lay in bed for so long until, you got to do something. But might as well, Yeah,
I mean, I lay in bed playing on my phone Trying to just make sure. I mean, tracking things was hard. I wasn't really sure, and I've somehow wound up like several fragments ahead of pace, so I can skip the last couple of events, which is great. And it looks like you're going to succeed as well.
Yeah, I should be good as long as I can get past this artifact enhancement. I don't run into too much silver trouble. Should be fine.
So, talking about a 150 day approximately account being able to do, a fusion, I wouldn't say easily, but comfortably. Right?
Yeah,
like
if they hadn't been friendly with the 15 shard or fragment extra,
yeah,
then I probably wouldn't have
right.
completed it.
You were able to skip the summon rush entirely, right? And you just did all the rest of the stuff?
Yep,
I did I did the summon rush and the champion chase on both accounts, and that allowed me to not have to worry about silver as much, so I don't have to do the last artifact enhancement. I also don't have to do the last dungeon divers, which saves me like 5,000 energy. I actually don't even have to do the spider tournament, but I probably will because the rewards are there, and it's like, why not just get the the artifacts because it's good silver anyway, and maybe I'll get some good pickups. So yeah. So let me actually jump over to my account here, and so I am currently on the Noob versus Pro account. And if we jump in here, actually, I'm gonna have to put you in a different corner here.
Don't put baby in a corner.
There we go. All right, so if we check the fragment summons, I've got 85 fragments out of the 100 on Zinogre here. I think I've got 95 on my main right now because I've completed the champion training. So right now, the champion training is still going on. And so I just need a few hundred more points and I'll pick up these 10 fragments. And that'll take me to 95. I'm kind of hopeful of actually completing all this. I might go for the whole kit and caboodle on this. I don't know if I have the energy for it. I've had to a couple of times make calls where it's like there are good rewards out there, and I had to be like, I'm sick. I've got to not play this hard. I got to kind of ratchet it down a little bit. I'm not going to be doing this artifact enhancement event, so I don't have to worry about that. So, and then I think I get 5 fragments from the classic arena takedown. So I'm almost there, and that'll be my 100. So all I have to do is a few hundred more champion training points and less than 50 more classic arena takedown points, and Zinogre's done here on the Noob versus Pro account. And I would say that she's going to add some value to this account. I think she's going to be a god tier clan boss damage dealer, which I could use. I still need to put a team around her. She's going to be tricky to speed tune. I'm waiting on the guys to figure that out. Like, because she's got this turn meter mechanic. Where is it? So on her A2, each hit increases her champion's turn meter by 5%. And then she has the speed buff. And so you're going to have to, deal with both of those. So it will have to be something that you like use the calculator for in order to figure out exactly how to speed tune her. And it will change your speed tunes. You can't just put her in place of another damage dealer because not every damage dealer has those two mechanics. But potentially it's going to allow you to reach, maybe like she might on her own allow you to reach a 2-to-1 ratio. Because sometimes you can do that with a single speed boosting champion, like with a single turn increased speed buff. So that might be enough. I don't know. Or you might have to use her in conjunction with either a buff extender or a second increase speed champion. And that'll definitely allow you to get to a 2-to-1. And a 2-to-1 ratio is really where you start to reach one key status. Right? Like prior to that, you can, with really, really good comps and really good gear, get one key Ultra Nightmare status. But when you get to that 2-to-1, that's where it becomes a lot easier because you get so many more War Master procs and Giant Slayer procs. You get so many more like if you have Phantom Touch procs, or you have more chances to get your debuffs out there, so you land more poisons, more HP burns, more weakens, more poison sensitivities. All the things that increase your damage, you're more likely to have 100% uptime on. And so that 2-to-1 ratio is just so strong. And so I think she's going to enable those kind of compositions. And if I can get to that, then I think I can finally unlock Ultra Nightmare on this account, which would be really nice. All right, so that is the Noob versus Pro account. So now I'm going to swap accounts because I think this, well, maybe I should do some arena. Yeah, let's do a little bit of arena here.
We should say hello to the people.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but I want to do arena while I'm doing it. Okay. Let's go ahead and say hello. We got a bunch of people. Oh, wow. Bunch of people popped in. Massey, Sabik, Ruthless.
Oh, wait,
what's that?
I was just going to say the title of the stream, but I guess, yeah, if you're doing a little HH, I like it.
Yeah, we're going to switch to that account. We're going to be on the HH account. It's not currently up, but this is nice, by the way. When you have Georgian and you can just ignore Stone Skin, that's just fun.
So nice.
Yeah. It's weird because I love Genbo. And I have him on my main account. But sometimes now when I'm in arena on my main account, I'm like, oh, I don't ignore Stone Skin. I just ignore Unkillable. I'm like, I wish I had Georgian over here too. It's like, man, I'm just there's never a point in raid where you're like, enough is enough. You always want better. You always want more, you know? See if we can get this one too. All right. Massey, Sabik, Ruthless, Lychia, maybe? I don't know. Angelica, John Hodgson, Freaky, good to see you. Great Dane in the house. Dinky, Wallyverse, Plethora, Justania, Pavel, Fun and Party. Hi, all. Good to see everybody. Joshua Lynch. Joshua Lynch said, opened Arbeus in the D's Bananas account. She seems okay. Also, you sound way better. Well, thank you. I don't feel a lot better, but slightly better than yesterday. Yesterday
he's rallying right now.
Was it yesterday or 2 days?
He's got the endorphins are flowing.
Yeah. So 2 days ago was the worst. And yesterday was better. So, you know, this is the thing. I was talking to Sun about this. I'm like, the thing with, I don't know if, you know, everybody's had COVID and everybody has their different experiences. So this is my second go round. And the thing about the flu is, like, when you get the flu, you start heading down. And by like the 3rd or 4th day, you bottom out. I guess it should go this way. And then you start to come back up. So it's just like a single, you know, thing. You go down, you come back up. And as soon as you start feeling better, you're like, oh, I'm on the mend. I start feeling better. But in my experience with COVID, what happens is you go down and you get to the bottom and you're like, oh, this is as bad as it's going to get. Because the next day it kind of flattens out. You start to get a little bit better and you're like, oh, I'm on the mend. And then it goes down again. Like it comes back up and it goes down. And then it comes back up and then it goes down. And so you end up doing this kind of, you know, roller coaster ride for, last time it was like 2 weeks. I probably didn't fully recover for 4 or 5 weeks, but there were 2 weeks where it was just really bad, where it's like, oh, I feel a little bit better. And then I feel a lot worse. So yesterday I felt better. 2 days ago, I felt really bad. Yesterday I felt better. And today I feel worse than yesterday, but not as bad as 2 days ago. So I don't know what that means, but that's where I am currently. I do appreciate, by the way, I appreciate all the well wishes and all the support and all the, you know, messages I've gotten. I haven't responded to barely any of them because I've been, you know, just trying to manage, but I do see them and I appreciate them. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's been really nice to hear from everybody.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Anticonda's here. Shock. Lachia says, I pulled Fane on my challenge account. I already have Kale, Frozen Banshee, and Fat Man. Too many poisons and not sure Fane is worth it because of her defense. What do you think, son?
Is Fane worth it? Absolutely. I mean, my Fane is built pure tank. She's there. Poisons, weaken, decrease defense. She does a ton of work for me. She's in my Ultra Nightmare. 3 key on Void, but 2 key on all the other affinity teams. And if you get unkillable, she's going to do even more work, you know?
Yeah, I think Fane's fantastic. I think Fat Man's also fantastic. And you do have this sort of question about which one is better. And Fane brings a weaken that the Fat Man doesn't. But if you have the weaken somewhere else, Fat Man brings an ally attack. And so it's really, they're very close. I've run them both. I had them on the same account and I couldn't make up my mind. I went with Fat Man and then I ended up running up Fane anyway. They can work really well together as well. There's really no downside to running them both. So, the only downside would be if you can fit them into a comp, basically, because you still need buffs to keep them alive. But yeah, those are two great champions. Suzanne Johansson, good to see you. Stephen Markley. Plethora, finished my first fusion thanks to the Colred Plays Discord community. That's awesome. I'm glad the Discord community was stepping up while I was out of commission. They always do, though. Neothin, hey Cole, do you have an Iron Twins solution? Do I have an Iron Twins solution on this account? On my Noob versus Pro account? I don't. I have to look into Iron Twins a little bit. Because my typical solution on several of my other accounts has been to go super tanky. But those are accounts where I've had like Helicath and Valkyrie and Scylla the Drakes and stuff like that. And so that works really well. I will say, prioritize a decrease speed. You want a really reliable decrease speed for Iron Twins, but other than that, I don't have a solution yet. Steven completed the fusion on 2 accounts. Why does that sound such a... What's your solution?
Geomancer.
Okay.
You know where that was going.
No, I had no idea. I didn't like the setup. It's like, I got a solution for you. I was like, that's never a good phrasing for anything. I got something for you. All right. Alex, I'm probably turning on. Ian, hey, I hope you're feeling better, Cole. Not quite yet, but I'm still kicking. I'm fighting. Shooter 90, good to see you back on your feet.
We're hanging in there.
I am I'm upright for a few hours. COVID sent you to the ER. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, my wife had to go last time as well. This time she seems to be doing a little bit better than last time. Kieran Brown said, my challenge account lasted 1 day and I pulled Tyrant Ixlamore and was left with a really tough decision. So did you just bail out of the challenge? Just said, you know what, Tyrant's good enough. I'm just going to make it a regular account? Because that'd be fair. All right. Well, good checking in with everybody. I'm gonna try to pay attention to chat, but if I don't, just let you know I'm multitasking on
I have my eye on you. I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Thanks.
I will interject.
All right. Well, let's go over here while I swap my accounts. So now I'm going to swap over to. I got my main account on the phone. I did actually install RSL Helper, which was really nice because one of the things it lets you do is easily run 2 instances of Plarium Play. And so even though I haven't been using the auto battler very much, I have been using the 2 instances. So I've been able to play 2 instances on my computer and 1 on my phone, without which I don't think I would have been able to do very well on the HH Challenge account. So that was a nice little thing there. Oh, Doom Tower reset today, which I forgot about.
Yeah, it did. Thanks for reminding me too. I gotta.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not. I didn't do all my secret rooms on my Noob versus Pro account. I did all my secret rooms on my main account, but then I forgot that it was resetting, and I had so much going on. I just didn't get to all the secret rooms, which is too bad.
I did all the ones I could do. That's how that worked for me.
I was able to do 23 secret rooms this time around on my main account, which that's like maybe that's maybe the 3rd or 4th time I've done it. So there's in that last rotation, there's 1 in the hard Doom Tower I can't do. There is a rotation out there where there are 3 secret rooms I can't do in hard Doom Tower. I can do all of the secret rooms in the normal Doom Tower on every rotation, I think. There may be one. There's one that's like rare HP champions or something like that, but I forget if that's hard Doom Tower or normal Doom Tower. But yeah, okay. Let me. I've already messed up. Let me pull up my new account here. Yeah, the brain's not quite firing on all cylinders. I'm not even 100% sure what I'm talking about.
Where am I?
I'm having like an out of body experience, but I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I'm only half aware of it. I'm like half awake. All right. Okay, so let me swap over here. Let me show you. All right, son, I'm gonna, maybe you want to, let's switch to your close-up, son. Let's do that. There we go. Get him on the screen. Oh wait, I got that camera's got to be fixed or something. Did you change the way your OBS is reading? Because it's showing like your bar on the bottom of the screen now. Oh, there you go.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, you just took it away.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Better. All right, great. Now this is good. All right, so you can see this is my account. Now, I do want to take a look at the leaderboards this morning because I'm actually kind of curious.
Do you really want to see those leaderboards? Do you really?
So I haven't been doing great. I fell to last place on the team, which is not surprising. But the good news is I finally 6-starred. Let's see if I'm actually on the leaderboard. I finally 6-starred my first champion this morning. I just did it before the stream. So let's see where. There are 9 people who have 2 6-star champions. I just got my first 6-star champion. So I don't even know. I guess it doesn't show it on this one. But let's see. Okay, so first level 60. Here we go. It is not yet showing that I have a level 6. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have a level 60 yet. I just have a 6-star. So I got to get him to level 60, I guess. All right, let's see how the team is doing. We're in 7th place. We've been floating. So I'm Team YST. Hopefully they rename that. We're Team Shadowverse. But we've been floating between 7th and 5th for the most part. So these 3 teams you can see are all in the 5400s. We're pretty close. All right, I've moved up to 812 points. So I'm now out of the basement. And I feel confident that those are going to rise more today. So I should be closing in on 900 points probably by the end of the day. The point totals really don't matter that much at this point. So if you don't know, it actually shows you how to score points here. But there are like one-time points. So for instance, you get a point per star for campaign for hard mode and brutal. So if you've cleared brutal and you're farming brutal, but you've only 1-starred everything, you still have like whatever that it's 2 times 7 and 14 times 12 is like 168 stars or something to get. So that's 168 points for each of those campaigns. So it's like you can get over 300 points that mean nothing basically in terms of like your progress, right? Like all it gets you is some resources and some shards. It's not really about game progress. And then when you talk about the fact that there are six players on each team, you could be talking about 1,800 points on the team. So Team Scratch might have all of those points, or they might not. Like these points, they might be ahead of based on other stuff. So we don't even know. So like right now, I'm 3-starring hard campaign. So if we go back, basically what I did is I decided not to use my barrel. I've decided to hold on to my barrel. And the reason I decided to hold on to my barrel, you can see I went 6-star on the Blade Master first. The reason I decided to do that is because I still have not 3-starred hard campaign, and there's this sacred shard sitting here behind Sun. Let me see.
Hey.
Yeah, right there. So I can go and get a Sacred Shard. Now, Sacred Shard could be meaningful because it's a guaranteed epic or better. Now, I'd prefer the epic. You don't want the legendary on this account. But so I may as well go and get all these resources, get all these extra gems, get the epic skill tomes. There's 3 of them here. This is going to let me, again, that's kind of behind Sun there. So right here, there's 3 skill tomes. So that's going to let me skill up Mordecai. And I am all in on the idea that Rathalos is going to be the carry, and therefore Mordecai needs to be empowered. I did okay on my Arbiter missions. I usually get through the first 2 batches in the first 7 days, and I didn't do that. I'm going to give myself a pass for that. So I got through about 125 of them. And now I've got to wait for the Spirit Keep to open, but I should be able to cruise through most of these. So I think I'll probably get through the Fuse Justiciar by the end of the week. And feel okay about that. But yeah, so right now, let me show you my roster. It's not a good roster. It's not a good roster. I had to hit Mercy to pull my first epic, which is frustrating.
It's a little unfortunate.
On my 20th pull, I think it was either 20 or 21. On my 20th or 21st pull, I pulled Melga Steel Girdle. And then on my very next shard, I pulled Firegun Isbell. I saved up my void shards for the 2 times event, and the 3 voids that I pulled, I pulled Fellhound, not Fellhound. Yeah, Fellhound. Fellhound's in the vault. And then I pulled Beardell, Fellhammer, and Azure. I have no idea how to pronounce Azure. I'm going to call him Azure. So I pulled these 2. So two epics, which is not bad. Out of 3 shards, that's very good. Neither are fantastic, but I'm going to have to experiment with them because here I've got a counterattack. He's got a heal reduction, which could be useful in at least the potion keeps, and maybe against Fire Knight. He's got a reflect damage, I think. Does he have a reflect damage? No, it's just the counterattack. Okay. So the heal reduction and then counterattack with the multi-hitters, 2 hitters and 3 hitters. So that's a good Fire Knight solution there. Now, Azure is a double hitter here. He's got a chance to stun. He's got an Ally Protect. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, but an Ally Protection champion could be useful for Clan Boss. He's also got this Steel Turn Meter and Stun mechanic on his A3. I don't know how I feel about this champion. I don't know that I want to invest too heavily. But now what we're looking at is like we have a kind of a plethora of damage dealers, right? Because we have Rathalos, Athel, War Maiden, Mordecai, Firegun Isbell. These are all damage dealing champions. We do have a decent support in Melga Steel Girdle, so I'm pretty sure she's going to be my main support at the moment. She does have a revive. She's got a shield with continuous heals. I wish she had a decrease attack. But if she did, she'd basically be Rector Drath, which she's not. I can't get away from the Mordecai because right now he's my only HP burner. Now I was able to build him relatively fast. You can see he's 189 right now. Athel is 187. And Rathalos is 178 speed. All those are behind Sun's head. You can't see those. Okay. So let me do that one more time. 178, 187, and then 189, which is working pretty well in Arena. So if we jump into Arena, I'll actually show you. Like, it's not exactly a speed tune, but it is sort of a speed tune. So if I'm going fast enough, what happens is Mordecai opens, so I can put the HP burn out there, plus the increase attack, and it's the big increase attack. I have no turn meter fill, but now Athel goes and softens everybody up, and now Rathalos comes and nukes. Right? Now what's going to be really good is when I get Rathalos ascended, because he's not ascended right now, so he's not getting his passive. His passive gives him 50% more damage to targets with HP burn on. So if you look at his skills, he's got this passive which doesn't unlock until he's 3-star ascended. Inflicts 50% more damage against targets under HP burn. Plus, he gets this every 5th skill used by this champion deals 200% more damage. So both of those are going to be activated there. And so in Arena, I think he's going to nuke really hard with the setup that I've got him on. But I still would like a turn meter fill. So when I get the High Katoon, that's probably just going to be the team. It's probably going to be High Katoon into Mordecai, into Athel, into Rathalos. And at some point, maybe I'll remove Athel from that team if I want my War Maiden, let's say, as a drop defense champion instead of a second nuker. Who knows? That just requires more gear, right? Now, maybe, unfortunately, I've already spent the gems to buy Athel's masteries. Rathalos also has all his masteries. So, not 6-starring her at this point feels silly. So she may be my second 6-star. That may be overkill. I may have overinvested. I maybe shouldn't have, but at some point in my COVID fogged brain, I thought to myself, I was going to 6-star her first, and that would help me get to Rathalos faster. And then I was like, well, I'm just not doing it right, so I have to skip her and go to Rathalos. But I've already spent the gems. So this 6-star mastery is just waiting to be unlocked. So I think, realistically, I'm going to have to 6-star both of them, which is probably inefficient. But at this point, I've invested, and it makes more sense to do that. Mordecai's got to be a 5-star. Melga's got to be a 5-star. Now, right now for my clan boss team, right, the thought was I was running a second support. I was running War Priest for more heals, just to keep the main damage dealers alive. But I used her as a 5-star chicken for Rathalos, so she's gone now. So now I have a spot on my clan boss team. And I could bring War Maiden back in, but Rathalos already has a decreased defense on his A1. It's only a 50% chance. But so I'm thinking, do I bring in the Ally Protect, or do I bring in the Ally Attack? So I've got a 3-hitter here with poisons on Hyria. I've got a Ally Attack here on the A3. The Ally Attack gives me more chances to get the weaken and the decreased defense out. More procs of the two big champions who are going to have their 6-star mastery. So that's the current debate that I'm having with myself. I've been wanting to run Hyria as well for a long time. I just like the possibilities of this champion, and I've always bailed out. The other option is Firegun Isbell, who is a serious damage dealer. She also has an AoE weaken, but I think I have enough damage right now. So currently, I'm not really pushing for that. I will say my Dwarven faction crypts are looking really good. I've got Melga.
Dwarf squats.
I've got Firegun. I've got Bayardal. And so, that's going to form a nice trio. Brings me damage, tankiness, and survivability with a Reviver. Yeah. So what was that? Team Dwarf Squats?
Team Dwarf Squats.
I gotta say, dwarves look like they work out, don't they? They're all buff as hell.
Yeah. Team Dwarf Squats.
All right, so that's just an update on what's been going on. I've been trying to 3-star campaign right now, so I've been using this duo just to get more XP onto it, but now I'm starting to think, just based on where I am, I don't know if Firegun Isbell is going to do enough clearing, so I may have to just resort to solo leveling Rathalos, which might not be a bad idea anyway, because I want him to get to 60 as close or quickly as possible. All right. Oh, she's going to die here. Unless I can kill everybody in the next hit. Nope. Oh, just in time.
Just in time.
She's going to die anyway. Yeah. So I'm not going to 3-star. I think I might have to just start running a solo Rathalos here. Give him more XP. All right, so yeah. That was a great stream. All right. See you on Tuesday. Whew. Everybody's caught up? Any questions? What's going on?
Yeah. Still kind of nice.
Kieran Brown says, yeah, I abandoned the challenge. His HP burn and ally protect is great. Clam boss pairing with Rathalos, I think. Yeah, that's absolutely a fantastic pairing. Tyrant Ixlamore. Hey, Nacho. Good to see you. Nacho is one of my teammates. Nacho plays. So team Shadowverse in the house. Thanks for coming by and hanging out, man. How you been doing? Let's go check out the page. I don't actually know where everybody stands. I haven't really been paying that much attention to it. I've been wanting to see my numbers climb, but that's all I've been really looking at. So Nacho plays at 866 points in the number 3 spot. There is a team chat in Discord that I have not paid attention to in like 48 hours. Just because I've been so out of it. But I should catch up with the guys. I think we were hoping to stream as a team tomorrow. YST wanted to do a Monday stream, I think. So I'm going to check in with YST today, and then we'll update you all on what's going on. I look better today, says Crash. Well, thank you. I I shaved, I cleaned up a little bit for the stream. Premier Craft, yo, is not Takeover? No, Takeovers happen on Tuesday. We haven't missed it, we haven't actually missed a Takeover Tuesday, although we'll see how much energy I have for this Tuesday's Takeovers.
It'll be Sunday, Tuesday, Sun Takeovers. God. I
think people are just hoping for takeovers every day.
I think peripherally getting it now. My brain's melting.
Sun's gonna be doing takeovers. Everybody's gonna be doing takeovers. We're just gonna invite guests on to do takeovers.
Yeah, heck yeah. Now we're talking. We're gonna find a random guy on the side of the road. He's never played Raid before in his life. He's like, well, that guy looks cool. Build him. Do it.
Hammerhawk's asking to go to the bathroom. Yeah, you have a permanent bathroom pass. Okay, you don't have to worry. You don't have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. Why is stage 10 so much harder than stage 8 in dungeons? It's a good question, and it's actually, there's a reason for it. And this is actually something you can look at in a lot of different places. So let's say we go to dragons, right? All right. So one of the things that we always notice, I got to move Sun around again, is you always notice the energy levels, right? So when the energy levels go up from like 8 to 10, it gets a bit harder, right? You also want to look at the levels of the boss. So like we go from stage 3, he's level 11, then stage 4, he's level 16. You can see that. So that's a jump, right? So it's like go 7, 9, 11. And then here, when the energy jumps up, there's a bigger jump in terms of the number of levels of the boss. So it goes from a level 11 to level 16. But the other thing you want to watch is when the rewards jump up. So here you get your first 4-star reward. So it goes from 2 to 3 to 2 to 4. But those don't always happen on the energy levels. Right? So right here, for instance, at stage, you go up 6, you go up 5, and then here you go up 13 levels on the boss between stage 6 and stage 7. And you're like, that didn't jump energy levels. But what happened is the rewards went from 3 to 4 stars to 3 to 5 stars. So stage 7 is where you can first get 5-star rewards. Right? Now you start going up by 10s. You go up 40 to 50, 50 to 60 in terms of the boss level. But then from stage 9 to stage 10, it goes up 25 levels. That's a huge jump. from stage 9 to stage 10. And again, it's because we eliminate 3-star rewards. At stage 10, you get a guaranteed 4 or 5 stars. So no more 3-star rewards at stage 10. 25 level jump for the boss, but no energy increase. Right? So sometimes it happens on the energy increase, sometimes it happens on the reward increase. Another thing to consider, and this is always true every time you go up, there will be whatever composition you have generally, there will be an affinity you are strong against, an affinity you are weak against, and then 2 affinities you're relatively even against. And so if you are strong into force affinity, then you're fine. But typically you're running your starter champion, who is, all starter champions are magic affinity. So stage 10 is really hard. In fact, once you bust through stage 10, you may find stage 11 really easy because your starter champion is now strong affinity. But you may find stage 12 really hard because you've jumped up another 25 boss levels and now you don't have a strong affinity champion. Now everybody's neutral, right? So any strong affinity bonuses that you were getting at stage 11 have gone away. Now you don't have a weak affinity champion, but without the strong affinity bonus and with the 25 level increase. So when you think about the difference between stage 8 and stage 12 here, now this is huge. Like if we look here, okay, we start at level 7. And when we hit stage 8, we're at level 50. So we've gone up 43 levels between stage 1 and stage 8. 43 levels of the boss. Between stage 8 and stage 12, you've gone up 70 levels. So 43 levels versus 70 levels, right? So 5 stages have gone up 70 levels versus 8 stages that went up, what did we say, 43 levels. So it does get harder. It does get harder. The thing that happens in this range is you start collecting 6-star champions. Like with only 5-star champions, you're going to have trouble getting to stage 10. But as soon as you get a 6-star champion, stage 10 becomes a lot easier. Right? And as soon as you get a full slate of 6-star champions, you're probably clearing all the way to 20 or close to it. You know, maybe you get stuck on one of the affinities just before stage 20. But yeah, and that's true of all the dungeons. Now, the affinity is different in all the dungeons, but, you know, say you come in here to Fire Knight. Same thing. You can see the same levels. You start at 7, and stage 8 is always level 50. Now, the increases are a little bit different here. So in this case, it goes 50, 60, 85, 95, but it still ends at 120 here on stage 12. So you still get the 70 stages, 70 levels increase in between, but the actual like increases happen slightly differently. But also the affinities, like on 10 it was force affinity, whereas here on Fire Knight it's spirit affinity, so it's a little bit better for your starter champion. Obviously, the biggest issue with Fire Knight isn't really your power; it's your hits. Do you have the multi-hitters that you need? Do you have turn meter control? You know, do you have survivability? Do you have a cleanse? Like, do you have a heal reduction? Right. Whereas with Dragon, it's literally like, do you just have enough champions with enough stats? Like, this is a stat check, but this is a team check. Like, you need this is a certain skill combination dungeon. You know, Ice Golem's completely different. Spider's completely different. Obviously, each one's different, but they all kind of scale up the same way. Again, you know, stage 8 is 50, stage 12 is 120. In this particular case is, you know, like the void affinities fall on different stages. But that's basically why it gets so much harder so quickly. Like, you'll always plateau and be like, oh, now it really takes something new to push through. But what you'll often find is like that affinity cycle will happen. You'll get stuck on one affinity over and over again. You'll push through that affinity and clear not just the next one, but like the next 2 or 3 or, you know, whatever, get stuck on the same affinity again. So if you clear through one spirit affinity, you can go all the way up to the next spirit affinity before you get maxed out. Sun, are you there?
Hmm?
You're not showing up anymore.
Oh, me?
You're invisible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Let me see.
It's the Dobby stream now.
Hammerhawk says, I almost think Cole is trying to take over his own stream again. Hey, cool. Good to see you.
I was hoping you'd switch back to me and it'd just be that picture of the stairs with Dobby's head poking out. Oh, now I see. It's because you have me on a different one. That's why. That's why it didn't work.
I have you on the close-up. There you go.
Hey. That's why I was disappearing.
Don't forget to smash that like button. I haven't used that one in a while. I gotta remember to use that. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna keep running. My my Rathalos, and then we're gonna get into Clan Boss and see how much more damage we can deal in normal. With that one, just that one 6-star mastery and one 6-star champion, I'm hoping to be able to one key normal. That would be cool. Because this morning I did my first key with everybody at 5 stars, and then I 6-starred. So, didn't die? No, okay. Oh, here comes the pup. So what are you working on today, son?
Right now, I'm doing a little faction wars. I gotta stack up my energy, and then it is run it down mid at Spider till I'm done with Spider, Dungeon Divers, Artifact Enhancement, all at the same time. Hopefully,
Completing the fusion.
completing the fusion. That's the goal, to have that done by the end of the day, because it looks like the tournament for her souls start tomorrow, and if at all possible, I want to try to get as many of those as well. I feel like if I'm trying to do the remaining parts of the fusion while I'm trying to do that, might be a little tough.
Yeah, so I saw that, and we do need to talk about that a little bit. So they're offering an opportunity to get up to a 5-star soul for Zinogre Blademaster, kind of like they did for Blizzar, or exactly like they did for Blizzar and Wukong. And did they offer a 5-star soul for UDK, or was that only a 4-star soul? I think it was only a 4-star soul, right? I'm pretty sure it was a 4-star soul because I already had it. So I was like, I just did the event for the other things, but it was like I didn't even need the soul. So yeah, I mean the issue with that is it's as big as a fusion event, right? It's like basically doing a fusion event.
Yeah.
And I almost wish they had them overlap the way they did with the Tormund and the fusion event, because then you could like double dip between the two events. But now you have to complete the Zinogre fusion, and then you basically have to do a second Zinogre fusion to get the 5-star soul. And by the time that ends, there's going to be another fusion, right? There's going to be the February fusion, because it's already January 21st. So it feels like this schedule is a way to basically keep you in full fusion mode always. And if they just keep doing this, if it's like fusion, like champion event, and then fusion champion soul event, and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, that's overwhelming. Like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's really too much to do. And it doesn't feel friendly. I mean, they're like, oh, they're giving you a 5-star soul. That feels friendly. But it's like they should do it like every 3 months or something.
They just give it to me if I complete the fusion. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And like to run it back to back on the heels of a fusion, like it just feels like too much. So
yeah,
I'm not sure I really love
it as well. The thing that I realized is I maybe wouldn't be as annoyed by it if they also didn't start it before the current events for the fusion itself actually ended. Because, like I said, it feels like to me, potentially, if I'm working on these events that are still ongoing, then I'm going to be missing out on those events for the 5-star soul.
That's
So
assuming
I almost
you couldn't
wonder.
readily double dip. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there may be a chance for you to
Right.
double dip.
There may
So
be, but
yeah,
the way I'm viewing it through my rose-colored lenses here, or not rose-colored in this case, but I'm seeing it as who's most likely to still need fusion fragments. People who are free to play because they didn't do probably something like the summon rush or the champion chase, right? Because that's the 15 fragments. Everybody who did both is already done with the fusion right now.
yeah,
Everybody who didn't is still doing the fusion and has to do these last events, and they're overriding with those events. I don't know,
right.
maybe, I'm just starting to get a little I'm just starting to see those things more often than I used to. But it kind of feels like a little bit, in the face.
Well, this is why I'm saying like we have to see what the actual points are, because if you can double dip, then what that means is it's actually helping free to play players.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then it's hurting free to play players.
Then it's
So
actively trying to hurt.
it's literally how it
Yeah.
lines up. Because if you can just complete your fusion and get points towards the souls without changing like what you would be doing for the fusion, then in effect they're basically saying, well, here are free points because we already know you're completing the fusion. Now, the flip side of that is if you completed your fusion early, then now you're not getting a double dip. Now you actually have to just go out and do the soul points with energy that you wouldn't have used, so it, like, regardless of how it works, it's helping one group of players and it's hurting another group of players, so the better way to do it, honestly, if you were going to do something like this, is either, I can see two really good ways to do this. One is run it simultaneously with the fusion event. Like make it like a super fusion event. Say you can do a fusion plus you can do a soul all at the same time.
Super fusion.
and just allow, like, give everybody the full schedule so they can kind of plan out their fusion event and say, hey, we can do the fusion event and we can do the soul event. We can do it all at the same time if we do it like this. That would be friendly. That would at least be somewhat friendly. Like, you'd be like, all right, that works. Or forget that. Don't do it at the same time. And then just like 2 or 3 or 4 times a year, offer a soul event, like a Titan, event like that. And have it be completely separate from a fusion thing or whatever. And don't make it like a 3-week event. Don't make it a 2-week event. Make it like a 5-day event, and make it super friendly and just let people get their 5-star souls relatively easily. But I don't see either one happening. I think they like what they've done. I think they've added, they are giving more value. And I think it increases daily activity. And that's what they really want. They want to increase daily activity and they want to increase spending. And I think it does both, because 5-star souls are hard to get. They're incredibly hard to get. And they're expensive to get. And Iron Twins is not a good way to get souls. So it's really the only way to get souls, but it's not a good way to get souls. So a free soul for a new champion increases the value of that champion significantly. We can see the value of a 5-star soul on Blizzard, right? Like there is such a good value for a 5-star soul when you think you can get a guaranteed protected smite. It's like, so if you take Brimstone, it's at 5 stars. I don't know I think it's protected at 5 stars. It's guaranteed at 6 stars, right? But the other thing is, if you are buying souls, you get to skip over all the costs of buying a 1-star, then 2-star, then 3-star, then 4-star imperfect soul or whatever they're called. I don't mind them giving away souls. They just got to find a better way to do it.
Yeah. That's really what it's all about. Howdy, Kate. trying to fix the targeting on my Geomancer, and it's not working.
All right, we're going to see if we can actually clear Brutal with this team comp. We should be able to do it. I actually did debate running up Athel as my first 6-star even this morning, because at 5 stars, she's better than Rathalos is. She hits harder. She's more survivable. She's got more nukes. Like, she gets around to her nuke faster. She's got the weaken on her A1. I'm not convinced Rathalos is going to be phenomenal until I get him that HP burn. And so as like a campaign farmer, he's not going to be a great campaign farmer because you're not going to have the HP burn on the campaign farming team. He's going to be solo. So I think she's going to be the better campaign farmer. Now, I did pull a Fellhound. So I could do that, but that requires decent gear. He actually is pretty gear intensive to make him a good campaign farmer.
People say he's easy to gear. I don't agree. I'm 4 months in now, and I can't gear my Fellhound.
Yeah.
Unless I start taking apart other teams. I'm not willing to do that.
No, and you have Wukong, who's already farming at like 8 to 13 seconds, and so getting down to a 5 or 6 second clear,
he's like 9 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, it's nice, but okay. So I just need more XP here. All right, so let's go. We'll just keep clearing this.
Premier just fused Justiciar. Is he any good starting out?
Nope.
No, not really.
No, he's not.
Oh, I think we did it. Did we do it?
Tulsi, hey, good to see you. Are you fine, Cole? I'm surviving. I don't feel well. I'm not there yet. But
he's
I wanted to
teapot, short and stout.
I wanted to get on the stream, say hello to everybody, update everybody, let them know I'm alive and kicking. But yeah, I'm pretty miserable. Montez says, Colred, how is your Geo built? That's funny, Montez. That's
Got
funny.
him. Oh, man, it's such a sick bird.
Kick a man while he's down. Kick a man while he's down. Darth Malgus says, hit the like button. Yeah, Justiciar is weak.
For that Geo burn.
He's weak, but you need Justiciar to fuse Relic Keeper, who's also not great, but can be used in some cases. He's like a weaker... what's his name? He's a weaker version of Septimus. So he's like a one-shot repeating kind of thing. Like if he one-shots, he gets another turn, which he can one-shot and get another turn, one-shot and get another turn. So he can be a campaign farmer. It's not super fast, but he can like clear brutal campaign in like, it's like 15 or 18 seconds. Just one shot, and then the next round, one shot. So he's, you got to watch the animation 12 times. But it can work. But yeah, in general, I don't advise people invest in either champion. And remember that like attack-based champions like that don't really do well until you get them to 6 stars, right? So this is true in general. The damage dealers you bring up, you're going to want to 6-star the vast majority of them. There are very few damage dealers that you're going to be happy with at 50. Occasionally, there's an HP burner you can get away with at 50. Occasionally, there's like an AoE A1 champion you can put in a stun set, and even though they're an attack-based champion, you're like, I don't really need them for that. I'm going to run them just for the stun set. So there are occasional exceptions. But attack-based damage dealers, or any damage dealers, HP-based damage dealers, defense-based damage dealers, you want them at 6 stars because they get so many more stats when you get them to 6 stars. And they're already like especially attack-based champions are already the squishiest champions on your roster. So you need the 6 stars to keep them alive and in the fight. Otherwise, they just get removed from the fight and then they're not doing their job. So when you look at a champion like Justiciar, or you look at a champion like Relic Keeper, and you're like, well, this is an attack-based champion, and a kit's not that bad, right? Like, I could find a use for this kit, but it means a 6-star. It just means a 6-star. Now, think about how many days of grinding food it takes you to make a 6-star, right? Like, right now, probably at this stage of the game, you're making 3 6-stars in your first 30 days, you think, son? Something like that?
Yeah, I would say that's fair enough.
I'm not sure we got to 4 in our first 30 days. Maybe somewhere between 3 and 4. Yeah, it might be. Yeah. It might be 4. You know,
by the end of, I mean, it definitely ramps up. By the end of it, I had like 20, and I have like 25 now. So,
right.
I would say between 3 to 4 for the first month should be a fair estimate.
Yeah, and so even if you're crushing it, let's call it 5. Even if you're crushing it, so you're talking about 6 days, 6 days to get that guy to 6 stars. Who could you 6-star instead in that 6 days? Right. And
anybody else.
Yeah, it's like, do you have another damage dealer who would be better? Well, we all have Rathalos. Rathalos unbooked is better at 6 stars than Relic Keeper booked at 6 stars. So he should be priority. And then it's like, well, what about like your roster, like building your overall roster? We want to keep adding skill sets that we don't have. Every 6-star that you add, it's not going to happen for me this time because I'm 6-starring 2 damage dealers first. But typically, you don't want to do that, right? You want to make sure that you have a diversity of skill sets. So, like Mordecai to 6 stars is an option, right? Because he's an HP burner, turn meter increase buffer. It's like I've got Beardall, I could level him up. I've got what's her name, Melga. Melga's probably my 4th 6-star. Right, because she adds tankiness, she adds a shield, she adds revive, she adds heals. So based on that like philosophy of team building, I can't find a scenario in which I think Relic Keeper is a good 6-star. 1, I'm not making that many 6 stars. 2, they need to add good value. He's not great at what he does. Like, there are better options. Plus, what he does is not super important. And so that happens all the time where people will tell me, like, a champion is a decent champion. And I'm like, yeah, theoretically, like, you could find a scenario where he's not awful. But at the same time, I can't find a scenario where I would say that was the optimal choice. Like, it's almost never the case. So, if you had a challenge account where you're like, I'm only using champions I can get for free. Like, I'm not, not shard pulls, not anything like that. Just literally login champions and fusion champions. And then I'm like, okay, well, now he becomes important. Now you got to think about, like, he could be your damage carry. He could be your campaign farmer, maybe. He could be your damage carry in that faction crypt. He's somebody you can get early in the game. Maybe. But yeah, I'm always looking at champions with that like mentality. Like, is it adding something new to the roster or not? And if it's not, then is it a significant improvement over what else I have? And that's just the easiest way to 6 stars and make sure you don't regret your 6 stars. Speaking of which, on my main, I've been 6-star champions like crazy now. I just 6-star champions. Like I play my main so inconsistently, but I still do my dailies. So I have to put all my energy into something. So I just run campaign, and I've been 6-starring champions left and right, son. And I have all of these 6-star. I was looking through my 5-star epic champions who are completely booked. I have like 20 5-star level 50 epics who are fully booked, and I could just turn into 6-stars. And so I've just started doing that. I've just started 6-starring epic champions left and right, and rares, which has been kind of interesting because I don't have anywhere to use them. So now I'm literally just leveling champions because I can.
It's not a bad place to be.
It's not a bad place to be. And if I were spending more time on my account, it would actually be a really great place to be, right? It would be fun because I could do a lot of content with those champions. But I've got as soon as this fusion is done, which is it is done today for me on both accounts. As soon as this fusion is done, the noob versus pro is going on the shelf. And like the HH is now priority number 1, and the main account and making content on that is number 2. This week, the first week, I feel good. As soon as I start feeling good and I've got energy to make content, I've got so many videos lined up. People are going to be pumped. I hope. Because we've got a ton, like I've got like 6 or 7 different clan boss teams I've theorized in the last couple of weeks. The problem is each one takes like 150 million silver to make, so I can only do like 2 a month. I've got Iron Twins. We have to do the Hydra clan boss video that the members have required me to make this week or this month. So I've got 9 days to figure out.
They voted on it.
They voted on it. That's a requirement. I'm required to do that. That was my agreement. That the members get an opportunity to force me to make a video. And I phrase it that way because basically the idea is I make videos based on suggestions all the time, but sometimes I just don't get around to certain things. And so this is basically the members get an opportunity to say, hey, we'd really like you to do a video on this particular topic because you haven't hit that recently. And so this month it's Hydra Clan Boss. So that is top of the agenda, which I'll be honest is going to take me a little bit of research time because it's been a while since I've actually gone back to the beginning and start to put together a team. Like even on my new versus pro account, like I haven't really put much energy into Hydra. I can get the lowest. I can get the lowest chest on normal. And so that's all I do. I just get the lowest chest on normal. But like to actually build a Hydra team from scratch and like talk about like how to get into it and what the fight is all about. We did a video like 2.5 or 3 months ago, which I thought was a good video, but that was the last time I looked at it. And Hydra is not a personal focus of mine. So it'll be good for me to actually get in there and do some research because there have been a lot of new champions that have been released in the past several months who are very strong Hydra champions. A lot of the recent fusions have been very good for Hydra as well. I still want to do content on all of the fusion champions we've done in the last year. Like I still have Emic videos to do and Island videos to do. I have Blizzard videos to do. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've never really focused on Newt. There are Newt videos I could do. So there's a ton of videos that we have sort of in the pipeline. It's just going to require me to start feeling a little bit better. And don't hesitate, by the way, if you're out there, if you're part of the Discord community, don't hesitate to just offer your suggestions in the suggestion channel. Because I do look at those when I'm thinking about.
Box.
Yeah, so there's a whole process there. You can make a suggestion about different things. You can make suggestions about how to improve the Discord community, or other things. But if you do that, then I do look at those. And then that may change
a super nice, neat little suggestion box. Just put
Yeah,
that video.
Sun worked hard on it.
Go.
Boom Skillet says, I got a ton of video to put out when I feel better. And then Sun says, I think you still look pretty sick. Might be months before you recover. Hey, Liv's in the house. Good to see you, Liv. Got a lot of people in the house. David's back. Stevie Boy. Icky Ray. Elkson. Hammerhog. Oh my God, sounds like I need to take a week off when Cole is better again so I won't get behind on his content. Well, the nice thing about the videos is they stay there forever. Emic is a maniac. He's really good. Fox Mode, good to see you. Don Kelly says, could not get into the Clan Boss calculator after signing up. Deadwood Jedi. I don't know why. I don't know what you mean. Like you couldn't emotionally, like mentally muster the energy to get into the calculator, or you physically like couldn't sign into the calculator. Because I can understand the first, but the second one is, that sounds like just a technical issue you could probably resolve quickly. Hey, Kate, good to see you. And Broken Not Dead is in the channel. Broken Not Dead is actually kind of crushing the leaderboards right now, if I recall correctly. Where are you at, Broken? You are topping Team Scratch right now with 1,455 points. Broken Not Dead is absolutely crushing this contest, sorry. So yeah, good to see you, Broken. Thanks for joining the stream. I have not been able to check out the other content creators' content about the HH Challenge. And there are a lot of them. There are 50, 48 or whatever content creators. So I do want to check out some of the other content creators' content. I haven't even been able to check out like YSTs. I've just not been able to muster the energy to do much of anything. So I haven't watched HH's. I haven't watched Saphir. Like all the people I normally watch, I haven't watched any of those. I haven't even watched my team captains. So I have a lot of catching up to do. But I do recognize certain names, and obviously I'm not sure in terms of overall points, but Broken Not Dead is definitely near the very, very top of the list. So welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, you're kicking my butt. Hey, Ephemeral in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know how much better I am. I'm managing. I don't want us to sound like I'm complaining. Everybody's gone through this, right? I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you get sick and life goes on. The world keeps spinning. Sun's been holding down the fort. We've got the officer corps doing well with the new clan cluster. That was the other thing that we launched that simultaneously. We did double fusion, third account HH challenge, launched the clan cluster, took a day off so we had the inaugural Sun stream, got sick, and have been instantly wiped out. It was like literally couldn't have happened at a crazier time. Could not have happened at a crazier time. The initial launch of the clan cluster went very well. My plan was to, after the CVC, get the 5th clan up and running, but then of course I got sick. So if you did apply to what was called CPR1 at the time, the applications are still in. We're aware of them, and I'm hoping to get to that at some point this week, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 days. So we'll get that sorted before the next CVC, absolutely. And that'll help kind of alleviate some of the pressure on the cluster, because there is a lot of upward pressure without place to expand, right? So currently,
Yep.
that's
a big problem right now.
Yeah, where we are. So we'll open that up, and that'll allow sort of the flow upward to happen a little bit more, with less constriction, I guess.
Yep.
I think we'll probably have maybe 10 or 15 more spots once that clan opens, and it'll be at all levels because people will reshuffle a little bit. But so if you're looking for a clan, the cluster is up and running. And I think we'll probably be looking for experienced members of the community who've been around for a little while to take on some officer roles. We'll probably need at least 1 to 2 more officers. Yeah, so if you've been with us for a while, and if you have either past experience in terms of running clans or guilds or whatever in other games, or you just want to give it a try and you're willing to put in the time and effort for it, you can read sort of the rules in the Discord community and decide if that's something that you might be interested in, and then send a DM to me or Sun and let us know. I've had some people reach out in the past, and honestly, at the moment, my brain is not such that I know who all those people are. So if you have reached out to me in the past, you should remind me. You should remind me. I know there are at least 2 people in the past who have offered. So yeah, speaking of which, how's Team Sun doing these days?
We're doing fantastic.
Are you clearing Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss?
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Got quite a few people now that are one keying it. And we're moving in that direction. Whenever we get, just a couple extra clan boss keys in a day, it's knocked out every time. So
Nice.
I think it's right around the corner, and then Nightmare and everything else goes down every day. So we're doing really well.
Yeah, so Cold Red Sun is clearing Nightmare every day, and we're not quite clearing Ultra Nightmare. We're getting it down, I want to say, like, to maybe like 30%. I do feel like it's probably going to be within striking distance in the next few weeks. There's been some improvement. One of the issues with the new versus pro account, it's not an issue, but for this particular thing is an issue, is that we're spread out a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? So there are people who are still working on like hard, and then there are people who are working on Ultra Nightmare. So it's not as concentrated as it could be. So once we kind of open up the top clan and, move people around, that might be more concentrated. What might actually happen, we'll have to see, is I don't know how many people are going to move up. I don't know how many people are going to leave Cold Red Sun and go to the more ambitious clan. So it might be that Cold Red Sun takes a step back. And I don't know if that's going to happen at Team Sun as well. But if we kind of concentrate all of the most advanced accounts in one clan, then I have no doubt that clan will clear Ultra Nightmare every day. But that means the clans just below it will probably lose some of their hardest hitters, and that would step those clans back a little bit, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because it could be the kind of thing where it's like, if you are somebody who's like working through Brutal, the fact that you're not getting 2 chests every day from Brutal because people are focused on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, actually means you're getting fewer rewards. So once the clan is sort of more concentrated and they start progressing in pace, like, you guys will unlock Ultra Nightmare and, or Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare kind of together. And that can be really exciting. I mean, one of the things about, stepping into a clan that already has everything unlocked is that you're just kind of floating. You're not with the group. But when you're doing it all together, that's kind of fun. So I wouldn't mind getting to the point where, like, before we do that, Cold Red Sun could be knocking it out every day. That would be just fun to accomplish with this group of players. All right. Let's try some arena here. So out of curiosity, you know what? Maybe instead, I was going to ask you a question about, but I was just like, you know what? Maybe what I should do is I should get a poll up. We need polls here. It's a stream. I haven't done a poll yet. We've been streaming for almost an hour and 20 minutes. Caveman, I had COVID right before Thanksgiving, 8 days, no work. That's, yeah. Live Wild, I have 6-starred Rathalos. Am I happy with him? I don't know yet because he's not level 60, but we're getting there.
Yep, there you go, right?
So I will, yeah, definitely let you know. But let's say, let's do a poll here. What do we want to do as a poll? We need a good poll.
Oh. There you go, Peckin.
All right, there we go. We got a poll out. Always have to have a poll. Live Wild, you can send me a DM. We'll check the timer on that. Or check in with Sun. Absolutely. All right. Got to keep grinding this this arena. It's weird because the challenge is only 90 days. So it's like you're not going to do certain things, and you don't even have to set up certain things. Like you're never going to get to Sill the Drakes, so
True.
What can you do in 90 days? It changes your approach to the game. And I've been thinking about, like what kinds of things can I drop? So like we knew the one easy switch was not buying the gem mine. So it's like, okay, so that's way less important because it takes 100 days just for that investment to turn, worthwhile. But then there are other questions like, how valuable are the Arbiter missions? Because typically you don't get the Arbiter in the first 90 days. I mean, some players can, some players have. I thought about whether or not I wanted to try to make that a priority. I don't know that she's super valuable. And the point structure is kind of interesting because you got to think about like winning the contest, and so it's the points that matter. And so Great Hall development does matter. That's how you get points. So Arena does matter to that extent. And so Arbiter could help you there, but
you can't use Arbiter.
No, you can use Arbiter.
Oh, because she's technically anybody can get her because she's free to.
Yeah, you can use any champion that you can get through the game, like through the game action, so you don't pull from a shard.
Because she was a legendary, but yeah, you're right.
No. You can use Razin. You could use Lady Mikage if you could get her. You could use. You can do any of the fusions. So, like, if you could complete the fusion for Zenogre, you could get her. So you can do any of those legendaries. You just can't you use a legendary you pull from a shard.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, like, one thought I've had is, like, we were talking about sacred shards. I think everybody's YOLOing sacred shards because they're like, I don't want a legendary. I just want to get epics and, like do that. But one of the things that I was thinking about is, like, I could save all of my sacred shards. I could just power up, like, save as much as I can, save as many as my resources as I can, and try to do next month's fusion. What happens is when you're early in the game, like if you're lower, I think what is it? You're below level 60, right? If you're below level 60, you get a discount on the fusion rewards. Like, so if you look on this account right now and you look at the Zinogre fusion going on, and if I look at the champion training event, I can get the 15 fragments at 5,900 points. Where are what's the champion? Let's go to your account, son. Check the. Yeah, you got to go to your other screen. We're still on. Yeah, there we go. All right, we'll check when you're done with that.
Yeah, it'll take a minute for this run to fit. I'm trying to speed up my spider team. I've gone through like 7 iterations now, and for every couple of seconds I claw back, I lose them somewhere else.
Yeah. But yeah, so my point being here, like, I keep shrinking you down. Okay, let's get rid of that and bring you back. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so 5,900 points here, which is a lot lower, I think, than the normal amount. So potentially, if you're like level 40 or something, or 45, coming in here and doing these might be a lot more feasible. And if you don't pull shards, if you just save up so that you can actually do the because the one thing that you don't get a discount on, is you don't get a discount on the summon rush. But if you can complete the summon rush, you could potentially get a legendary that you could use for the next 30 days. And that's one of the things about Arbiter that's tricky. It's like, it's only a 90-day challenge.
Which event, by the way, did you want to see the point totals on?
The champion training.
Let's see, the fragments are at 6,100 and 9350.
All right, so 6,100 and 9350. Now, if we go over to, mine, you can see the fragments were at 3,150 and 5,900. 3,150 right there, and then 5,900. So, like, pulling sacreds could get you good epics, but if you don't pull, you could potentially get a fusion, which would be a guaranteed legendary you can actually use. Which is not something I would normally think about. I would not normally plan for my first fusion within the first 3 months. Within 90 days. I don't even think about fusions. I don't even care. But with this setup, potentially we could do that.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool too. I'm sure somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to go for it. I just don't know who. Like, I'm thinking about like MTG Jedi and Odd One. Like, one of those might make a play for it. Somebody might. Maybe a Cold Brew. Or a Scratch. I mean, think about all the fusion champions that you have available, early on. For the Relic Keeper, for whatchamacallem, Broad Maw. You could do those fusions during a champion chase. Like if you just set that up, you could probably get like 1,000, maybe 1,000 champion chase points just from those, maybe from a Raz and Scar. Like if you can make one of the epics out of a Raz and Scarhide, you could probably do most of the champion chase, or at least a substantial portion of the champion chase without using shards. Might be possible. And I don't know if the champion chase points would be lower. I know the Sun Rush points are not lower, but I don't know if the champion chase points are lower. My guess would be no, but it's hard to say. What are you working on here?
Oh. I was thinking about finishing my monthly mission. But in hindsight, I think I might just wait till tomorrow to see what that event looks like. If it has champion training in it, then I'd just be wasting points doing that right now. So
how much longer is champion training? One more day? Or does that end tonight?
Champion training ends today.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I could see Odd One Gaming going for it. Freaky Gamer says, I think it was the last December fusion made me upset. So the Ugir fusion, you couldn't miss a single event if you're talking about Ugir. And I didn't skip it. I went and got them. I will say on my main account, fusions have gotten to the point where they're pretty automatic. Now it's a 2.5-year account. It's an end game account. I get plenty of shards. I don't need to spend them for things that I don't want to spend them on. So I just save shards. I save gems. I save all the energy. I'm not playing that account a ton, so I'm not burning through all my energy. But last year in 2023, I attempted. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Look at that shield.
Holy cow.
Holy crap. I was like, you know what? I've been waiting to roll this. I need to do it for an artifact enhancement. There we go.
Nicely done.
Is that the quintuple roll? It's
that's
not
what
even
that
a
is.
Quad roll.
Yeah.
It's a quintuple roll.
It's a quintuple
5
roll.
rolls. 35%.
It's on a kill stroke piece, which is
it's on kill stroke,
which is
so that speed.
Yeah, so that's got to go on a defensive based nuker, right? Like that's who you'd want it on. Yeah. I mean, did it have crit rate on it? It had. I saw speed and accuracy. I don't know if it has crit rate.
Speed, defense %, and then resistance.
Yeah. So what you need to do is you need to find a whole bunch of crit rate somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've got quite a few triple rolls and crit, so I can definitely get it like 20+% pieces. But wow, the quintuple defense, 35% on the single piece.
That's a huge number, and you haven't even ascended that. You need to ascend that piece. If that now,
I don't want to.
No, well, now you can rework your ascension. So now you want defense. If you can get the defense on it, even HP would probably work, but defense on it. And then, that's going to be the most defense you can get out of a piece. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, at least not a chess piece.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is so wild.
I mean, you put that on a Newt or a Stultus Dragonbane or a Harima or there are a couple of other ones. It's like, yeah, but you put that on a defensive base damage dealer. The only issue is you got to get to your 100% crit rate without a crit roll on that piece, which is a tiny bit of a drawback. But for some champions, it won't matter, or for some comps, because you can get, an increased crit damage buff. I'm sorry, increased crit rate buff. So if you can get, the champion in an increased crit rate team, then it may not matter. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some decent crit rate pieces, so I'm not terribly worried about that. But it's I mean, it's a little bit of an ask, no matter what. But dang, man, that's a sick piece.
That's not the worst. I don't think that's the worst set for it. It's actually a pretty good set because the Killstroke just has crit damage and speed, which means it is not attached to a damage number or a damage stat, right? Like if you got that on Cruel, it would be awful because you'd be like, well, I don't need quad.
Real sad.
Yeah, quad defense on Cruel, or even like, I guess. I don't want to take these up, but I'm going to take them up. I guess it's one of those pieces where it's like you'll find a build that works for that piece because you'll key on that piece, and you'll make it work. You just got to pick the champion. And unfortunately, you don't have Newt. But I'm trying to think of, like, who do you have right now who's defensive based? Do you have any defensive based hitters? Or no, not really. You don't really have any defensive based hitters, I don't think. You do have Mountain King. Things, no. You do have Mountain King, who's an HP based hitter. Yeah.
HP attack, yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be awful on him because you would still get the percent crit damage, the speed, and you would just make him tankier, and he's already going to have an incredibly high HP value. So, like, it's not optimal for him, but out of your
Armorger is my guy right now.
Yeah, that's true, and he needs accuracy.
I'll put that on my Fellhound. my campaign farmer Fellhound with this quintuple roll defense on Killstroke.
That would be a crime to put that piece on a campaign farmer. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be so good. I might do it just for the troll of it. If you see a picture of a Fellhound with that shield in the Discord at some point, blame this moment.
If you've been struggling to get him the stats that he needs, honestly, that could get him the stats that he needs just for the meantime. And then during the next, free gear removal, you could just move it to somebody else. But it doesn't do you any good sitting in your vault, in your storage. So put it on your Fellhound, and it might give you a 5-second campaign farmer, and then you could always move it later. But yeah, Stephen Markley says, "Do it, do it, do it."
Oh, did I ever show you that was part of my my little stream setup thing that I made?
Yes, I saw.
Oh, that was so good. That was my favorite part. Do it.
That was a lot better than the cupboard.
Yeah.
I find the cupboard highly irritating. I really do. I find it highly irritating. It feels almost like gaslighting. It's like it's like such a blatant lie. It's such a blatant lie. It's so infuriating. Like, man, first of all, I don't know what kind of limitations anybody is under the impression that I put you under. You basically do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I have no control over this man at all. None whatsoever. He does whatever the heck he feels like basically all the time. And I'm fine with that, by the way. It's cool. It's not like I'm trying to control you. It's just like, all right, that's just the way this works, So like if he's got an idea, he just runs with it. He just does it, We check in and we talk about things because we work together, but it's not like, I don't know. And then the second thing is just the implication somehow that you're working with limited resources. That you live in this tiny, like, I'm like, I don't give him any money. I don't pay him. He's just, I take advantage of him. The man lives in a three bedroom apartment. You know how, I mean, granted, Florida is cheaper than it is up here, but yeah, it would cost like twice as much for that apartment up here, easily.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's probably more than that, maybe 3 times what you're paying, because I know what you're paying for rent, and I'm like, it's crazy the difference in what you would get up here.
Yeah, and that's still super expensive here.
You cannot get a single bedroom apartment here for what you've got a 3-bedroom apartment for down there. You can't do it.
Yeah, what's interesting is 1-bedroom apartments here cost the same as these 3 bedrooms. Which also doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why even get a 1-bedroom? You could just get a 3-bedroom. That's what I did. I was going to get a 2-bedroom. I was like, yeah, I have a nice room for, family wants to stop by. I started looking at the pricing. I'm like, wait a second. I can have an extra 400 square feet, get another room, and it's the exact same price or less in some places.
Yeah, that's just strange to me. I don't know. My wife,
absolutely wild to be.
My wife works in social work, and one of the focuses of her organization is homelessness intervention. So the idea is they try to prevent people from becoming homeless before they do. So, and then they also try to rehouse people who have become homeless. And it's an extremely successful model. And they do great work. It is a private organization, although they have some government funding. But a lot of donation-based funding. And so what they're constantly doing is they're constantly trying to find affordable housing for people in one of the most competitive housing markets in the entire country. There is less than 1% vacancy currently. There's less than the what do they call it? They call it the inventory. The housing inventory is almost non-existent here. And so the rents for 1-bedroom apartments that are bottom of the barrel 1-bedroom apartments that are barely livable, are more than what you're paying for a 3-bedroom apartment down there in a nice complex. It's insane. It's insane. What I was paying 10 years ago in Boston, in a Boston market that is an expensive market, what I was paying 10 years ago in Boston is half of what you need for a 1-bedroom apartment now here in this area. And I'm like, that's insane. The amount of inflation that has gone on in the past couple of years, and the pandemic made it worse.
Oh yeah.
So it's insane.
Yeah, no, we're seeing that here too.
But the implication that you live in a cupboard is really what this is all about. That I make him work under inhumane conditions.
Under duress.
The man is living the life.
Tiny little cupboard.
He's living the life, and he's making you all believe that he's somehow the underdog. He's the underdog. He's the aggrieved party here. He's the victim.
This is true.
It's a myth, folks. It's a myth. It's a myth. He's living the life. He lives in a state where 50 degrees Fahrenheit is considered a cold day.
It actually is, though.
He lives in a 3-bedroom apartment alone with his dog. He is living the life. You don't get to have that shit-eating grin on your face every day if you're not having a pretty good life. Look at that. Look at that grin.
I'm gonna have this grin all day, every day, no matter what. So Get used to that one.
No worries right there, that man. No, that's not entirely true. That's not fair either. Everybody's got their worries. But yeah, don't let him lie to you. Don't let him lie to you. You can't trust him. He's a troll. He's a troll at heart.
It's the truth. He
doesn't live under the cupboard. He lives under a
locks
bridge.
Me under the stairs.
He's not under the stairs. He's under a bridge. You gotta solve his riddle to pass over his bridge, and his riddle is the lie he tells.
All the webs we weave.
Jules says, I live in a low income area and houses and apartments have been priced out of reach for the average family in this area. Big homes are being built and Toronto people are retiring to the area. There's a housing crisis in the US and it's been getting worse. I mean, it's part of a bigger issue and we're all seeing it, you know. I mean, Toronto's not the US, but the gap between your wages and your living expenses is just growing, right? You can't buy what you used to buy. You can't buy the amount of food you used to be able to buy. You can't buy the amount of fuel you used to buy or the car or the clothes that you used to be able to get. There are more things that you need for modern life and there are fewer resources available to get those things. And that's true everywhere. And it's scary. It can be really scary. I mean, one of the things that I believe in is multi-generational living. I think the nuclear family is an idea from a past time, and it was never a great idea. I don't think personally. I think multi-generational living is more common in other places than it is in the US, you know, in Europe and South America. And I think we're going to see a lot more of it here because you just get more efficient use of resources. You know, when you can have, you know, grandparents, parents, and grandkids all living together, you can have aunts and uncles, you know, living together. You can share resources. You got 5 kids from 3 different families living in the same house. They can all go to school on the same, you know, car ride. You get hand-me-downs from your cousins instead of just your brothers and sisters. You know, it's just cheaper to live that way. And I think realistically, we're going to see more of it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. The need for it is a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I think it's happening everywhere. I mean, here in Florida as well. It's what happens to a lot of places is, especially around here, they're old. I mean, they're, you know, buildings from the 60s and 70s. But somebody comes in, buys them, slaps a fresh coat of paint on them, and then charges you $500 more a month. And it just prices people out. People, yeah. It's either you pay or you leave, and the need for housing is there. So it's unfortunate.
Well, Fox Mode says, you know, we get a 3-bedroom apartment for rent here for $300 US. And again, like, it just depends on where you are. I think it would be more. We're closer to $3,000 here. So 3,000 US for a 3-bedroom. You could probably get it for a little bit cheaper, maybe depending on where, but probably there are as many apartments that would be over that as under that. So I would say, you know, and it's like, well, how much is $3,000 to you in terms of what your earning potential is in that area? How much is $300 US in terms of your, you know, so it's less the dollar amount than it is the percentage of your income.
Percentage of income. Yeah.
You know, so it used to be that, you know, you'd spend 30% on rent. And now most people in the US are spending 50% or more of their income on rent. You know, so once you start crossing that threshold, it's like, if you're spending 100% of your income on rent, utilities, food, and like clothing and transportation, just the necessities to literally have a job, then you have no money left over for healthcare. You have no money left over for, you know, leisure activities. You have no money left over for investments, and that's where people are. And that's because there's just a growing gap between your wages and your living expenses. And that's been happening for 40 years. So that this is not a new trend, but it's getting to epidemic proportions at this point, which is why like stuff like this, we talk about gotcha games and the aggressive monetization. Like this is just part of sort of an economic wide cultural shift in like bleeding the working class dry. When I say working class, I mean everybody from, low income to, true middle class. Even the upper middle class is not what it used to be. But yeah, it's a different world than it was when my parents were growing up, in terms of like how you spend your money. Yeah. I mean, I remember 20 years ago, talking about multi-generational living. I wasn't living multi-generationally at that point, but I was talking about it to people, and people were like, that it's a sign of failure. Like it's a sign of like when parents and kids live together and your kid's like 30 or 40 years old, that's a sign of failure. And, that kid is not, they haven't fulfilled their potential, and now I think people are saying, well, it is a sign of failure, but it's not a sign of failure of the kid or the parents. It's a sign of failure of the culture. Right. And it's like, I just think it's become necessary. Millennials don't look at it the same way that Generation X did. They're like, yeah, if I don't have to move out after getting, out of college, like, why would I move out? Why would I move out? Why would I go spend thousands of dollars in income per month to live in a worse situation than I'm currently living with, whereas generation, like the baby boomers, right, were in a situation where they got to accumulate wealth based on their wages being more powerful in terms of spending, that they were allowed to save. Millennials can't save the way baby boomers could save. So it's not a failure anymore to be living, with your parents at 30. It's just reasonable. It's just smart, because why move out if you don't have to?
Gotta save that money.
Yeah. I don't even know where.
One day.
One day what?
One day it'll all get figured out. Fingers crossed. I just saw XRL on the corner of my eye in the chat. He's like, damn, I came for a raid stream and got depression.
Sorry, I haven't seen any soapboxes. People should be putting their soapboxes out there.
Yeah.
We get all distracted by this. And if you want to blame somebody, blame Sun for his BS cupboard under the stairs crap that he's pulling on his Sunday stream. It's a lie, people. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
What's funny is 2 or 3 messages down under that, Averino says, and you keep abusing poor Sun, which I was about to say until you started yelling at me.
The man.
You can't win, man. You can't win. You've hated yourself.
I haven't done anything. You have painted me. You have unfairly characterized me as some kind of harsh taskmaster. He gets to do whatever he wants. He's in control of his own hours. He has a huge apartment that he lives in by himself with his dog. He's living the life, and he's making you feel sorry for him. He's manipulating you. He's a troll. That's what he does. That's what he does. Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
I'm just a humble boy.
You're just a humble boy.
Please,
You're just a poor boy from a poor family. You're such a.
I don't think you have any. Do you have any idea what's going on behind you right now?
I do. I see it.
So worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch this a little bit. Man, Sunday Funday. Yeah, we talk about serious things sometimes.
Actual tears, though. Tears of joy.
Tears of a clown.
Give me those sweet, sweet tears. They taste so good.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong, man. It ain't right.
It's so wrong is right. As it should be.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can 3-star this. Gotta get that decreased defensive again. There we go. Oh, he cleansed it. That's great.
Icky said he's working on your Sand Devil Selenia strat.
Oh yeah, how's that working?
Guess we're gonna find out.
I'm gonna have to update that because I think I know that there's an easier solution. Even with those two champions, unfortunately, I didn't realize this because I had a Neri for a while and she was already fully booked for other stuff. But if you don't book her out, you don't need as much survivability on your DPS. I'm a mess. But yeah, you have a situation where, like, because of the cycle, if you have one less cooldown on her revive, then you can just let your DPS die and she'll just revive them at the right time. But if you have her fully booked out, you can't do that. So if you have a Godseeker Aniri who's not fully booked out, and you can leave one cooldown off of her active revive, then you can actually you don't have to build your DPS to survive. You can just let them die. They literally get revived, they do their damage, they die, they stay dead. She revives them at the right time. They do their damage, they die, they stay dead the whole time. Yeah, fewer animations. It's actually faster to do it that way. So I'll have to do a video on that once I get to that point. But yeah, for right now, I haven't done that. Haven't done that because I have to build a second Godseeker Aniri. But when I did my first video, I got a lot of responses who were like, why are you keeping your DPS alive? You don't have to do that. I'm like, I do. I didn't know you couldn't. But apparently you could just let them die. But you have to have the cooldowns in the right situation. I was stoked that Selenia worked, though. That made me happy. How'd we do? Hydra Clan Boss is winning. People want Hydra. Well, we're doing Hydra anyway, so that's good. And then Demon Lord Speed Tuning, Dungeon 25 teams, and how to get a Gold 5 Arena team. Only 5% people. That's still over 5 people. All right. You don't need the blessing on Godseeker. It helps, makes it easier, but you don't need it. I did it without a blessing on Godseeker.
Indeed.
Let's do another poll. All right, we got a new poll up. Stephen Markley, there's no such thing. No such thing as too many polls. We don't need a poll to tell us that.
What is this poll? He's the boy under the stairs, he's the troll under the bridge, and then he's the living the bachelor dreams. What?
What's that?
He's the living the bachelor dream?
No, did I? It should just say he's living the bachelor dream.
He's the living.
There's an extra the.
He's the living.
There's an extra the there.
I am but a poor little boy. Please, sir, can I have some more? Please.
I'm just happy that nearly
Please,
a third of the
sir.
people think you're the troll under the bridge.
Please, sir, just a little bit more.
You've gaslit a third of the community into thinking that you're the victim here. Somehow. You know, we did. You know what happened? Somewhere along the line, we did that shard pull video, which I thought was a fun idea, where we did like the contest, and whoever won the contest won a prize, and we decided one of us would get a day off, and that was just like a thing that we did. Whatever. Now, first of all, Sun gets many days off. He gets tons of days off. There are days off all the time. But like, it was supposed to be a specific way to get a day off, where I was going to like edit a video, and you were going to, I don't know, sit on your hands. And that didn't happen for a while just because we got really busy and whatever. And now, so people would think like, because of that one little thing, you started to be like, he's a tough, taskmaster. He treats me like a slave. He never gives me a day off. And all people are like, yeah, Sun's never gotten a day off. He never gets a day off. First, he's gotten tons of days off. I mean, do you see a video up on the channel every day? No, you don't. So like that went along, and then you just started pushing that narrative, and now people are like, poor Sun.
I'm just saying, I haven't gotten my day off yet. I don't know, so
you have. You've gotten many days off.
I don't see a video edited by you on the channel.
That's true. I haven't done that.
I have not received my day off, good sir.
You have received many days off. In fact,
no. What you're saying is like, oh, you had your weekend off work, so I guess you used your PTO hours, huh? Like that's the kind of boss you are. I see how it is.
What? Who the hell's talking about PTO? Who gets PTO?
I'm saying my day off is supposed to be an extra day off. All right.
We don't get paid.
You are supposed to edit a video.
We don't get paid for anything here. You think we're making money on this channel? We're not making any money. What the hell are you talking about? There is no money. Every last dime goes to pay for something that's already coming out of pocket.
True.
There's no money here. Oh, whoops.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying you want an extra day off. That phrase is the most useless phrase that gets used to like cover all sorts of manners of sins. I'm just saying. What are you saying? I'm just saying. I'm not. What are you saying? A particular thing?
Hey, buddy. All right.
I'm just saying. Do you have a reason? Do you have a reason to say what you're saying? Well, I'm just saying. It's like, so you're just accusing me of being a horrible human being. No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What are you saying? You saying I'm unfair to you? No. I'm just saying. Dude,
I just said it. That's all.
This it's a bad look. It's just a bad look for everybody involved right now.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Everybody should be saying he's the troll under the bridge. That should be 90%. I don't know why it's 33% right now.
How'd that poll go? Let's see.
AK Ray says, I heard you're starting daily uploads. Such a good idea. Daily uploads. I can't even speak anymore. I didn't pay for this. Stop bickering. You guys are like brothers. Yeah. He's
it's funny. We
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I want to hear what you were going to say. You go first.
I was just going to talk about Icky Smith. I heard you were starting daily uploads. We did do daily uploads every day for months, and then now it's the first time where we've missed that. So we will definitely be getting back to that. Okay, yeah. Now go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I think we did for like the first 60 days. I think we did daily uploads. At one point, we were ahead of the pace of a video a day.
We were doing a video the day before. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, we should get back to that. But yeah, we are like brothers. I'm the older brother who's protective and mentors the younger brother and helps him out and gives him the benefit of my lived experiences. And he's the younger brother who just tortures me when every opportunity, trolls the hell out of me. It's like that's what happens. It's, normally you'd think the older brother is the pain in the butt who tortures his younger brothers. That's not what happens here. No.
The older brother who trapped his younger brother under the stairs.
No, nothing like that. It's like I'm like the high school senior who brings his freshman brother, to all the parties and introduces him to all the cool kids and like gets him in all, and then he's the one who makes up lies about me and starts rumors in the school and laughs with his friends. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, that's what it's like.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, the only difference is when I was a senior in high school, you weren't in kindergarten yet.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was still going in my father's eyes.
No, not that. But you were in like pre-K, kicking around in diapers.
Hell yeah. Like a good little Dutch boy.
See you, Liv. Oh, man. Okay. So he's living the bachelor dream, says 40%. He's the troll under the bridge. Well, I'm glad that only 27% of the community have fallen for your ruse. I'm on a mission to open the eyes of the public here, not let them be taken in by this scam artist.
Oh, wow. Strong words.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look,
scam artist.
They can judge. They can judge for themselves. They can judge for themselves. There's clear evidence.
They have.
Yeah,
they have, and they say I'm living the bachelor's dream.
Yes.
He says we're on a mission to get Sun out from under the stairs.
I mean, to a certain extent, I have nobody to blame but myself.
True.
I knew what this was going to be.
True.
I knew what this was going to be like when I.
You knew what you signed up for.
Yeah, I knew what this was going to be like.
Do I kick it with clogs? In my youth, my youthful days, kicked it with the clogs.
All right. Well, I've gotten my sacred shard. Now the question is, do I pull the sacred shard, or do I save it for next month's fusion and try to go for the fusion? Because
I like how you switch to me for just a second. You see me just totally chill back here, and then it goes away again.
Well, so there's another sacred shard here at Brutal, and I could definitely get that. I don't know if I'll ever get the one from Nightmare. I'm probably not going to be too focused on that. But so I could get this sacred shard. That'll be another one for Brutal. Then if you go to the challenges, there's this sacred shard here from the dungeon challenges, which I'll be able to get. So that would be 3 sacreds guaranteed. So with 3 sacreds, you're fairly decently into a summon rush. Summon rush, typically 30. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are we doing the close up? Is that what you want? You want to do the close up? We'll do the close up.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do the close up. No, I'm going back to my box.
Dude, you're all over the place.
Box. I'm just switching stuff around to troll the troll chat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Does he seem like he's under control right now? Does he seem like he does what I tell him to do? The man is a wild card. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get with this guy. He's like a box of chocolates. Sun is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All right.
Sweetheart?
What?
What kind? You know, chocolate sweet? I'm a sweetheart.
All right. So yeah. So now that's 3 sacreds. That's 1,500 points towards a summon rush. You need 3,150. I'm already saving my ancient shards. So let's say I was able to save. Oh, you can't see because Sun is always, no matter where I put you, Sun.
Hey.
Okay. So I got 14 ancient shards. So potentially, by the time the fusion runs around, I could have, say, 30 to 40 ancient shards. And let's say 2,000 to 3,000 gems with 3 sacred shards. If the fusion happens exactly the way it did this month, where you could avoid the entire champion chase, potentially, or avoid the entire summon rush, like do one or the other, the way Sun has done it. With the lower points totals that might be possible from not being level 60 yet, or whatever it is where it maxes out, the biggest issue would actually be like, can I get to a point in the dungeons where I can do like the dungeon divers and the tournaments efficiently? So can I get to stage 20, let's say, based on the champions I currently have without really pulling any more shards? Could I just save shards for the next 2 weeks? And basically say get to at least stage 16 of the dungeons. Now, looking at the roster that I have, with these 3 champions, I'm going to be with these 4 champions. Actually, with Melga Steel Girdle, I think I can do all 4 dungeons. I think I can do Spider. The biggest issue is going to be speed. Can I be fast enough to do all 4 dungeons? So, and then Fire Knight, right? So Fire Knight, I need a multi-hitter that I don't have right now. And so like this is a potential solution here because I got the triple hit and then the triple ally attack. The other one is Beardell Fellhammer, so I could move him in. So now we've got these 2 could solve Fire Knight for me. I'm wondering about Spider. I'm wondering about how we do Spider. Because we have the AoE HP burn. But we have so much direct damage. You know, if you're going to use the AoE HP burn, you want, again, I think Melga becomes an issue. I don't have a cleanse right now. But I'm sure I can find a cleanser. I mean, I could even get a Spirit Host if I had to. So potentially, I could get at least stage 16 of all the dungeons in the next 2 weeks. So it just feels like there's an opportunity here to get a fusion on month 2. It's not even month 2 because technically, like, we started this account during this fusion. So it's going to be basically a month in. I could be a month in and going for a fusion and have a shot at it, have a legit shot at a fusion. So if they announce the February fusion champion and it's a good champion, because you have no idea what you're getting from these sacreds. Like if I just pulled the sacred today, I just get a random epic. It could be Geo, or it could be like somebody totally trash. You know, and you have no idea. And
yeah,
right now,
for me, my question for you would be like, do you feel like there's anywhere where you're stuck on account progression where pulling new champions would be super beneficial? Because if not, then I think it's probably worth to wait for that potential fusion. But if you're, you know, I can't make progress in X, Y, and Z areas until I get better champions on my account, then.
Right. And like the thing that we constantly talk about, like especially when we do takeovers, is people get distracted by all these champions that they pull. And they don't optimize the champions they have.
That's true.
Like I right now have 4 champions that I could take to 60 and feel pretty comfortable with. I have my starter champion who still needs to be 6-starred. I have Melga Steel Girdle, who's a very solid support. She's not great. She's not phenomenal, but she's a very solid support who's going to help me in dungeons and in clan boss. And then I have Mordecai, who I literally have to bring to 6 stars to make it worthwhile to have run Rathalos up this hard. Right? Like I have to get him to at least 5 stars like almost immediately. And then I have to get him to 6 stars relatively soon. So those 4 champions, Rathalos, Athel, Melga, and Mordecai, seem like the focus for the next month. You know, we were just talking about how many 6 stars do you get inside the first month? It's like probably 3 or 4. So if I ran those 4 up, you know, and say a 5th champion to 50 or whatever who could do work in dungeons and stuff like that, like, you know, then I've got High Katoon coming. High Katoon is going to take she's going to be very important on this account. I have no Deacon. I don't have a speed aura yet at all. I have no speed boost turn. I have no turn meter increase. I have none of that. So Apothecary would be huge. But Apothecary also doesn't have a speed aura. So it's like High Katoon is going to be incredibly important. So at the end of the month, I'm going to have another champion I'm going to probably want to take to 6 stars because she's going to need to be the fastest champion on my account. I'm going to need that speed from the banner. I'm going to want the accuracy for her slow on her A1. It just feels to me like pulling shards at this point is complete. I have already stopped pulling ancient shards. I don't feel like I should pull sacred shards. I feel like there's a gamble to be had here that could play out in my favor. I've already got 200 mystery shards. I could end up with 1,000 mystery shards by the end of the month. And then make a play for a February fusion. Now, if the February fusion is trash, that's a problem. Right? That could be a real problem. True. Because then it's like, do I save for March and risk it all again, or do I just start pulling? You know?
No, then I think you have to pull at that point. You have to, don't you? Because I mean, it's only a 90-day challenge. But you're gonna do the fusion in the last month.
But it's not the last month.
Be able to use that champion for.
I mean, think about this. This
feels like it's real close to the end for me.
This fusion will be done in a few more days, right? So realistically, it's what day are we on? We're on day 9. Are we on day 9? Day 10. I'm technically it's day 10 login, but whatever. So day 10 login. So if you think about it this way, if 60 days from now the March fusion ends, that means you have 20 days with that legendary. You have 20 days with that legendary on your account. Right? Now, the way the point totals work is you get one-time point totals. Right? You get one-time point totals for most of your progress. The other thing you get is you get points for where you are ranked at the end of each month. And that's something you can't make back up. But in terms of progress, if you have a game-changing legendary for 20 days, you don't need 20 days. Right? When you got Wukong to 6 stars and you booked him out, he made all the gains for you in 3 days. Do you know what I mean? You get the gains instantaneously. You just build them, put them in a team, and then work it. Now, the one thing where pulling shards would help a lot would be Doom Tower. Now, I haven't unlocked Doom Tower yet, but I'm going to be unlocking it probably in a few days. And the more champions you have, the more solutions you have for Doom Tower. So, pulling a Burn Gary would be huge because is Baumel in the next rotation? He is, right? So he's not in this current rotation, I don't think.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. I gotta go do Doom Tower.
The rotation that just opened is Eternal Dragon, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so next month is Baumel. And Baumel will stop people cold. Do you know what I mean? He will just stop people from being able to progress up Doom Tower. So, having a Baumel solution ready, whether it's a Vogoth or a Lady Annabelle or a Burn Giri or whatever it is that you have, whatever you can figure out to clear that Doom Tower normal. I mean, we don't have Wukong this time around. We can't use a cheese mechanic like that. We don't, it's people might have to go with Paragon. Literally Paragon might be the solution for a lot of this stuff. Yep. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But right now it feels like, people are going to end this challenge. Most people are going to end this challenge with one legendary. They're going to get Rathalos, and that'll be the only legendary they have during the entire event. Some people might get really lucky and get Razin Scarhide. I don't think too many people are going to get Razin. Maybe nobody gets Razin.
Yeah, that would be really lucky.
1 or 2 players who are really focused and really good might be able to get Arbiter. And then a couple of players might be able to get Diffusion. If you think about those, those are the legendaries that are available to you. Drexthar is not. Yakarl is not. Yannicka is not. Those are not options. Mithrala is not. She's not an option. You can't get any of those champions in under 90 days. So your options are Razin, Arbiter, I guess the Lady Mikage legendaries, Kira and Tatsu. So that's 4. And then a fusion.
If somebody pulls all of the all of the required champs for Lady Mikage.
Yeah, I mean, potentially somebody could get Lady Mikage. The likelihood is very, very low, right?
Oh, it's practically non-existent.
Yeah. But maybe somebody could do that in 90 days. I've got one champion so far. I've got Fire Gun Isbell. You know, so if you're pulling a ton of shards,
Briggs pulled Duchess and foil and then fed them to the Blade Master.
somebody pulled Duchess and fed her.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not a bad route to go, right? The 5-star chicken route. It's not a bad way to go. But I feel like a fusion could be an absolute game changer. I mean, the flip side is you could spend all the time and energy trying to get the fusion and fail and just hamstring your account. You know?
Yeah.
So it's a gamble, but I feel like it's a gamble that's available, that's out there, that might be worth going for. Right. Win artifacts, accessories from dungeons. Let's go see if we can get. Let's see how we can do in Spider. I'm curious if we can clear stage 10. Right. Now, I was thinking about running up Shield Guard again. I've actually started to build him. He's almost fully booked, and I'm like, it might not be a good idea.
I'm gonna hit you with that's a no-go, Chief.
Like, I think your window, like the tolerances here are very low. You know, like if you lose ground, it just stays bad for you. You know, I think putting that investment into Shield Guard could end up coming back and biting me.
Oh, I see what we're talking about.
Can blow up most of the spiders now with 2 nukers, which is good. This is where the HP burn doesn't really quite work yet. And granted, I'm too low level in spider to really make it an issue anyway. A little bit of HP burn damage, but basically you're just trying to keep people alive. Mordecai's getting wrecked here. I do have a reviver. All right, so this next attack would be a heal. Let's get the weaken out there. Okay, we landed that. You can't see it. Let's see if we can keep these spiderlings under control. I thought that was going to be the heal. I guess it wasn't. So I think we're okay here. Melga's revive is pretty weak. It's 20% HP and turn meter, which is really low. Bannerlord's ring. Okay. Now this should be slightly better because of affinity. And if we can farm stage 10 for Spider, that's huge. So we're just doing this on auto and see if it's going to work. Now I could mess with the AI to spread out the AoEs a little bit. Make sure we get the weaken out there and the decreased defense first, which might improve speed a little bit. And not waste the HP burn on the first set of spiders, which we nuke out anyway. So having the HP burn up right now would be way more valuable. Melga's going to end up tanking, which is problematic because when she dies, we lose our reviver. We have to do this in a certain number of turns.
This poor Griffin boss.
Oh, that reminds me. You just stomping him?
Oh my god, since the last time I came across this guy. You want to see this real quick?
Wow, I'm running Spider right now. Give me a sec.
Oh, I'll just get my team to him.
I'm hoping I can clear Spider 10 on full auto. That would be really nice. Might need a little bit more. Might not have quite enough. But the power spike you can get from having like the rings and amulets and stuff. That's significant. I'm just saying it's a good idea. All right, this is going to be close.
What level of spider is this?
10.
10? Okay.
No, it's just going to die now. And a heal. Okay, so that's not going to work. All right, we're close, though. We're close to it.
Looked like he was doing some work, though.
Yeah, he's doing all right. As soon as I get him 3-star ascended, it's gonna be great. All right, so what are we looking at?
No, just I got my little Griffin boss. Let this run the first time, and my Wukong smacked him for like, I don't know, a third of his HP. Just he's just God. It's brutal compared to where just remembering the first time I ever saw this fight. Look at that. It's just nothing now. It's gone.
Yeah.
Utterly destroyed. So it's just cool to see that account progress, you know.
All right, was that
Measure
normal
right
or
there.
was that hard?
Yeah, that was normal.
You know, you don't have to start normal. You can start in hard.
I know I can, but
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to get that far into hard, so I figure I might as well just push normal.
Fair enough.
Get her done, you know. There's a juicy shard at the end. Plus, I want to get some more secret rooms. I might be able to get the is it Archmage helmet? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Omu?
Yeah, he's good. That's a champion. Like in the challenge account, I don't even think Archmage helmet is really a possibility. You can do it in 3 rotations, but you need to clear most of the secret rooms, and the chances are you're just not going to clear enough secret rooms.
Yeah. I don't think that. I'm at 72 fragments, so I'm getting there. Somebody wanted to know how my Wukong is built. There you are. Cole's blocking it, but I'll get you an idea.
Yeah, when you can resolve that broken piece, you'll get a bit more out of them too. I mean, the nice thing would be to move him to a six-star crit damage gauntlet with crit rate in a perception set, and that would allow you to have more accuracy plus more damage.
Well, no, this is Relentless too still, but yeah, I mean, I have a 6-star there. I would really like it in perception though. Yeah. I just don't have that many crit damage gauntlets, unfortunately.
I mean, for perception, you could go on a forge spree and try to forge it, right? You use your
yeah, I could.
What are they called? Charms?
Let's do it right now. We'll do it live.
Do it live. Go for gauntlets.
We'll put crit rate on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can get you a nice
mythical in there too.
Do it, dude. It's Wukong. Why not? What are you going to save it for? That's the question. What's the opportunity cost? Would you rather put it into some other set?
Well, that's the question. Would I rather put it into another set?
You could hold it for one of the Forge Pass sets.
Right.
That would, or say, what is it? Lethal or Fatal? I always forget. Like you could do it for the Dark Face set or Guardian set. Like that. Those would be the other ones to save it for. But then you also want to think about the champion it goes on. So there's no harm in not using it. But yeah. Let's get it.
Let go. Super nice and slow.
Well, you got several gauntlets. I hope one of those epics is crit damage.
Crit damage?
HP.
Nope. Crit damage? Nope. Crit damage? Nope. That's going to be a no for me, Chief.
Yeah, unfortunate.
No such luck.
But it's worth trying when you know you need a piece like that and you could improve like one of your major champions that strongly, you know.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It's worth
I'll have
doing.
to go through and sort that in a bit.
Yeah. Brendan M, I have a booked 6-star Helicath. That's fantastic. Helicath is a monster champion. One of my favorite champions in the entire game. Probably prior to Newt, I would say he was the best fusion that I had ever seen. Like not just completed, but he was the best fusion I had ever seen until Newt. Arguably the best fusion ever until Newt. I think Newt's the best fusion ever. I think he has to be.
Yeah.
But Helicath is a monster.
It's good to be the king.
And one of the crazy things is Demitha was a fusion champion. You know, she was part of
Was she really?
Yeah, she was an epic that got fused into a legendary. I don't think the legendary is as good. I forget which legendary it was. It was which legendary was it? But yeah, she was
just a fusion epic to
Yep.
roll right into somebody else. That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to remember which which champion it was. I don't remember. Uh, was she part of Yoshi? No, he was a fragment.
Ooh, 6-star speed boots though. Take those.
Six-star speed boots are nice, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody remember what Demetha was part of? I was around for it. I actually went for her, and I came up short by 5 fragments. Maybe it was Vlad's, or no, it was Sigmund the High Shield. I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was Sigmund the High Shield. Yep. Yeah. So it was the October 2021 fusion. Yeah, and I went for Demetha, and I missed her by 5 fragments. And I think the reason I missed her, if I remember correctly, is that during like the last day or the day before the last day, like the second to last day of the fusion event, the clocks changed in the US. Like literally the clocks changed and I lost an hour and I didn't realize it. And I came up like 50 points shy in like one event, and I missed out on her because I didn't account for the lost hour.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
They rolled double crit damage, defense percent, and then they got crit rate on the last stat.
Nice.
Not bad.
That's highly usable, yeah.
16.
Only a single roll in a crit rate.
Yeah, well, it was crit damage, resistance, and defense percent for the 3 stats. So the crit rate is what it rolled in.
Right, the extra roll.
Level 16. Yeah. So that's, I mean, probably the best that it could have gone.
Yeah. Or accuracy.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the double crit damage already, you want the crit rate on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Trying to find more gear to level. That's my problem right now.
For the artifact enhancement?
Yeah.
You could just do the thing where you roll stuff up to 4 and sell it, or 8 and sell it.
Yeah, no, I've already done that.
Hey, Papa. Piper saying hello. Piper?
Piper.
Can't even see her face. So she's so dark. Can't even see her eye. She does have eyes. They're pretty eyes.
Re-rolling good pieces to 15 is always a great play. I agree, it is. But I'm trying to complete this current artifact enhancement. um, I wonder. How's Piper doing? How's she been?
She's been a champion. Been awesome. She's a little bit cooped up. The weather's been really cold and we've been sick, so we can't take her out as much. But she's been very attentive. She's been hanging around my wife the whole time. Just giving her
Oh,
snugs and loves. Yeah, she's watching out for mommy. She's been great. It's so funny. We both, like, I don't know, over the last 5 days, we've probably just been petting her. You know, like one of us has just been on the couch petting her. Looked at the other and been like, I'm crazy about this dog. Like, yeah, she's the best. She's super chill, but she's also like super lovey, snuggly. She's a very good girl. She listens. Really sweet dog.
bestest of dogs.
Yeah, we got a good one.
Me too.
Yeah, Bandit's a good boy. Oh,
The bestest. Where's my- there.
you want to hang out or you want to go down? I think she wants to hang out a little bit, but she doesn't really like being on the desk. Oh, there you go. All right. I just leveled up again. It's those last few levels on your 6-star champions. Like it feels like getting to level 50 is faster than getting from 50 to 60. I don't know how the actual XP breaks down. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it just takes forever to get those last 10 levels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lionheart or brutal? I'm in brutal. But I think something I should try out is I should do a clan boss run so we can see the difference in the damage. I don't know who to bring in as the 5th champion, though. I might bring in Firegun Isbell. I guess it depends on... I gotta look at the... I gotta see who's got the gear.
Yeah, what's I know I've seen some people talking in the chat, uh, roll everything to 4 and 8 and stuff like that. So that's one thing I've prided myself on is I've become very consistent with my gear. Every single piece that I possibly could have, I roll, and everything else I sell. Every single piece is rolled to the max roll, except for level 16, because I usually save that till I want to use those pieces somewhere. So there isn't. I think there's literally nothing for me to roll outside of going to like max 16 on them.
Why don't you just go roll
So
your
yeah.
campaign pieces, the trash curing set.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm gonna roll these. All of this.
So, yeah,
But I'm
roll
gonna
all
use the
that up
RSL
to...
helper for that.
Yeah.
Which are you doing that, by the way? Do you
Not
know how to
yet.
do that?
No.
You want me to show you how to do that?
Not right now. It'd be
Okay.
useful for people
Find
to
it.
learn, but honestly, I'm barely holding on right now. I'm just trying to get to the end of my energy, and then I'm going to do clan boss, and then I think we're going to call it a day. So my voice is starting to go.
Well, here it takes 30 seconds, so I'll show the people.
Go ahead.
If you've got RSL helper, you go to your items, top right, go to rank, 1 through 4-star, common and uncommon. We're going to set it to level 4. Going to make sure there isn't any erroneous gear. Add all to queue. Press start. And it should work, but it didn't work.
Extraneous gear? Is that what we said? Extraneous?
Erroneous? I don't know.
Extra erroneous? That's some cross between extraneous and erroneous. Extra erroneous?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't know why it didn't run. Maybe my RSL got disconnected at some point. Oh, there we go. Just have to go out and go back in.
I like that word. Extraneous.
You didn't check the cell in game. Yeah, I normally just, after it's all done, select cell. You can add it to the cell list, and then that way I can just double check to make sure it's not selling anything incorrectly. I really don't like the idea of it selling things automatically because RSL makes mistakes. It has bugs. I just don't trust it.
Lanai says, that's how my cat was when my mother and I both had COVID earlier in the month. He just snuggle and give us love. Yeah, some animals are just really empathetic. Yeah. And not all of them, not all the time. I mean, I don't know that she knows exactly what's going on. And she's not as snuggly with me when I'm sick. She's much snugglier with my wife. But that's sort of more of her relationship with my wife anyway. I'm the playmate. We go out and, play ball, and we roughhouse and stuff like that. So she's sweet to me. She is, but I don't know that I get a lot more attention when I'm sick, whereas my wife gets a lot more attention.
Yep. I get all the attention from Bandit. Anyways.
Yeah. Where can you get RSL Helper? Well, Sun just did I guess you just did a Google search for it, right? But there is a Discord.
Yeah, or you can go to Farpstuff's Discord.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see, well, yeah, maybe you can share the link.
I'll post it.
Yeah. We'll share the link for the Discord. And then there's instructions in there. It is a German website, or it's a German Discord, but there's an English language section.
Yep. See? No hands. Artifact enhancement. This is one of my favorite parts, though.
Just let it go. Yeah, we can switch to my game. We don't have to watch that happen for the next 10 minutes.
It's great. Yeah, I don't know if mine runs at 100 milliseconds, but I think if you go faster than that, it's a problem. A good little German boy, says Silence. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Oh, Silence in the house?
Hey,
Silence. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better, man. Yeah, Lanai, I hope you're feeling better too. You and your mom.
Ricky says, let's see that clan boss run.
We're almost there. I want to get all the energy out of this guy. I just leveled up, so I got to refill on my energy. So I just want to get as many levels out of this as I can. And if I can find another piece of decent lifesteal gear, that would be nice. I keep running the boss here, hoping that he'll drop something good, and it's just been dropping common pieces. I've gotten like 1 or 2 uncommon pieces, and they've been 3 stars for the most part. But I'm always hoping for like a rare 5-star speed boot or crit rate gauntlet or something. And Isabel's almost 40, so if we could get her to 40, that'd be good. Then we could potentially use her as a 3rd damage dealer. So 37 energy. So we got 4 more runs here.
Is that fire gun Isabel on the right-hand side?
Yeah. Right there.
Why does she hold her gun like that?
Why does she hold her gun like what?
Like standing sideways with zero bracing for impact. She's just looking to get that thing shot straight out of her hands.
Hmm.
Just the stance looks really weird to me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Really
little bit
strange
weird.
looking.
I mean, they might have reused sort of like a mechanic for somebody who's got a crossbow. Do you know what I mean? Because there are
Yeah, it kind of looks like
champions who have
that.
crossbows. So she's kind of using it like a crossbow. Although,
Here's my
yeah,
shotgun, like a crossbow.
she's not bracing it against her shoulder very much. She's just kind of
No, not at all.
turning a
She's
little
just
bit.
holding
Yeah.
it like this, like I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, she kind of puts it up, but it's out to the side. And it's weird because she's not lining up the sight either, you know, but
He's just
she's just kind of leaning her head on top of she's just got my head on.
She's living on a hope and a prayer.
Yeah. Yeah, the animation is weird.
Oh yeah, you see that all over the place though. You start paying attention to some of the animations.
Yeah,
On a
the
cursory
animation's
glance, they're
interesting.
like, yeah, they look fine. And then you start looking at it, and you're like, wait a second. His hand is just a polygon. He doesn't have fingers. He's just
Yep.
it's just a fist like this, and then stuff just melts into it. Or at least we're halfway done.
I don't know if it's the last run and we got one more after this. No, we got one more. Might be able to get her to level 40. That'd be cool. All right. Let's go finish off our levels. All right, we can look at these champions. All right, so she's okay. She's not hitting hard. She's not moving too fast. What about? So this is a bit better, and we could improve this build significantly here. Let's look at perception gear first of all. You could maybe try. I mean, she's a debuffer. We don't need her to hit hard. We could just put these defense percentage gauntlets on her with accuracy. We have some speed boots, 4-star speed boots. Try that. And then not awful. Flat defense, accuracy. Did that and did that. This would be a significant, I think that would be a significant upgrade. Let's try leveling this stuff up. I can't wait to get to 40 so we can have instant unlocks, instant upgrades for gear. I don't know why they make you wait to 40.
What level is that account right now?
I think I just hit 35 or 30.
Okay.
8? I don't know. Yeah.
Everything's got to feel like an upgrade. Yeah. Look how nice we're being to you. We're letting you do it instantly now. We're so generous.
Right? I mean, honestly, this game has one of the worst onboarding systems for new players of any gacha game I've played. It's awful.
True.
Like, it is really bad. And it's not that the early game is bad. I'm not saying the early game is bad. I'm saying if you've never played the early game before. Yeah. But like, if you were a new player and you just walk into this game, and especially if you haven't played other gacha games, if this is like your first gacha game, you're going to be saying, what the hell is what do I do? Why is everything, you know, like, first of all, it's not very well described. Like, nothing is described well. The systems are completely bonkers. The tutorials are wrong in a lot of places. Like, even the missions are like, put attack percentage boots on an attack-based champion. It's like, okay. And now for the next 6 months, you think that's how to build a champion, because it's not. It's like the worst way to build a champion. You know, it's like they lead you down like dead ends and blind alleys and cut. Like, you never know where you're going or why you're going there. It's so bad. The game is great. But it's like all of these systems for the early game need to be redone. And it's weird because they clearly have this mentality, like, we don't go back and fix stuff. Like, that's their mentality. They very rarely go back and fix stuff. But you could make this, like, you've learned so much in the 4 years that this game's been out. Why not just go back and redo the new player experience a little bit? Because you know how much better it could be, you know? All right, so like right here, we've made a swap. We've gained a little bit of attack, a lot of defense, bit of accuracy, no speed, but we can level this up to 12. It feels pretty good. We'll get her in there. I would like it so she was more valuable in arena, but I can't get her fast enough right now. What I would really need to do is have Mordecai go and then War Maiden. The problem is I don't have enough speed gear to get her in that tiny gap between Mordecai and Athel, because right now Mordecai's like 189 and Athel's like 187 or something like that. So getting another 186 champion would be pretty tough.
It's AV Rhino. I like the idea, but it's also the most counterproductive thing I've ever seen. He said, how about a series about someone who doesn't look at online content creators getting started series? Problem is the target audience will never see the videos because they don't look at online content creators. For those who don't look at online content creators, this is how you should play the game, says the online content creator. Oh, I love it though. It's great.
I mean, you could compare the two. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, potentially.
Hey, I got a ring. Let's do that. All right. I got to make sure I complete my fusions today because I got to put that down. Noob versus Pro has to sit down. just has to sit down.
Yeah.
Cannot
I'm right there with you.
keep running that forever and ever the way I've been doing. It's funny because we stopped that contest, 2 weeks ago, and I've still been playing it nearly as hard as I was during the contest. All right, so clan boss time.
Contest.
You know what? Let's see. Let's just boom. Yeah, there we go. No contest.
All
right, so on easy, 2.07 million on one key. On normal, I haven't run the key today. Yesterday on normal, I did 1.05 ish or 1.1 million on one key. So that was with Rathalos at 5 stars. So he's now level 52, 6 stars. We haven't changed the gear. And we're going to put, so I had War Maiden here. Not War Maiden. I had War Priest here, the healer that you get early on. I turned her into a 5-star chicken. So she was giving some sustain. I don't know how much, honestly, that she was doing on top of what Melga was doing. So this will probably increase my damage without significantly reducing my life here. So I just want to make sure I do the opening. We're going to go for the weaken first. And then we're going to go for Rathalos decreased defense. He didn't hit it. And then she can try to drop the fence. And she does hit it. Okay. And here we go. We'll just auto this and see how it turns out. So I think 2 million would be a really good result. Maybe not really good. 2 million is about what I would expect. I'd like it at least 1.8. If it's not 1.8, it feels like not a significant increase. I forget what anybody know the point total for the highest chest on normal?
Not off the top of my head.
It's like 3.8 or something like that. So I would like to be able to 2-key that. I'd like to be able to 2-key the top chest. So 2 million I think would be safe because I think it's under 4 million. But we're doing a lot better damage. We're already over 1 million on 10 turns. And on 5 turns, I usually lived about 10 turns. So I usually get about 10 turns out of this. I'll probably get maybe more because it was usually 10 or 11. But with Rathalos at 6 stars, he might be able to get another couple of turns. So we might go 13 turns, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna do well over 2 million. He's hitting a lot harder. His damage is probably going to be more than double what he was doing before. Because I want to say he was probably responsible for like 450k on the previous key. All right, so we've definitely cleared 2 key territory here. Champions are going to start dying soon. We got another HP burnout, though. We got a shot at 3 million here. I don't think we're in 1 key territory yet, but we're clearly in a very comfortable 2 key. Once we get him ascended, if we had him ascended right now, this would be a 1 key, I think. That was a nice heal on the War Master proc. We cleared 3 million. If he keeps healing himself on War Master procs, it's just going to be the stun that's going to kill him, I guess. Because I don't think he's fast enough yet. But look how much work he's doing. 3.39 million, and he cleared 2 million of that. So Athel's got 490K. And on the previous key, she out damaged Rathalos. So he did like 4 to 450, somewhere around there. And now he's over 2 million. So that's a very nice result. Let's go look at that. 3.39. I think we're just shy, actually. It's 3.64. So we're actually very close to a 1 key. And in fact, we might not need much more on him. I could have saved that key. Maybe I could have gotten it right away. Like, we could have just pushed him with his gear a little bit. Like, we could have just taken those to 16 or something. That might have been enough. Taking these to 16. Oh, I forgot the Bannerlord's ring that we were just talking about. I was like, I don't think I have a Bannerlord. Like, yeah, I do. That would have helped. So yeah, I think I got a 1 key tomorrow. So that's awesome. And then right now I'm in save mode on my shards. I think next month's fusion is going to be interesting. If they announce the fusion and it's totally awful, then that's going to be something. But my hope would be that because this month's champion was a damage dealer, maybe they'll do a really good support next month. And that would be nice. Of course, that could mean I'm doing a fusion on 3 different accounts next month simultaneously, trying to do that. Gosh, I hope not.
Yep.
I don't think so. I think that this might be the Noob versus Pros only fusion. Noob versus Pro might need to be retired. It has to happen eventually.
Man.
Has to happen eventually.
God.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way things have to progress. Can't keep making new accounts and playing all of them.
Good.
Can't do it. Won't do it.
I mean, you can.
Can't. Physically can't.
Can.
Don't have enough time. Not enough time in my day. It'll be sad. I like the account. But sure, let's go get some of these. I need some. Where's my? All right. Yeah, when he gets to level 68, that should be enough. I should have that 1 key tomorrow. Yeah, I agree, Psych. So, the good thing is if it's bad, you have more choice to work on when you pull the shard. Yeah, it's like, what if it's a bad fusion? Then you have ways you can spend those shards to get the most value, right? Instead. Dusty says, very selfish, but I really hope it's a bad one so I can take a break. I always feel that way about a fusion. I when people get disappointed in fusions, I'm kind of like, that just means I don't have to do a fusion this month, which is not awful. It would be cool if you do the next fusion to do it on live stream if possible. I think that would be really cool to see a fusion be done live. It's a lot of work because you're constantly doing the fusion. For 2 weeks, you're doing the fusion. So that's not a bad piece. So to try to do the fusion live stream, like obviously there are going to be pieces you miss. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some of that. That would be fun.
Just stream your life for 2 weeks, 24 hours a day.
Give away the Noob versus Pro account? Maybe. I'm not sure. I've had a couple of ideas for it, how to like keep it in the rotation, I guess. I have an old free-to-play account, an alt account. They're all free-to-play. That I kind of want to get back to. That's got some nice champions on it and got some interesting champions on it. I don't know if I can realistically. I think what's got to happen is I have to play one account. I have to play my main account more. And I think that's going to allow me to do some good content. And enjoy the game. But then I'm always going to be running at least one alt. I don't know that running more than one alt will ever be a thing that I do again. I used to run multiple alts. I played 3 accounts for like a year. But I wasn't doing content at that point. And it was during the pandemic where I had a lot of time off from work. So I don't know that's ever reasonably going to be a thing that I can do again. And I don't mind giving away accounts. So there may be some accounts that, people might like. I might give away all my accounts, actually. That would at least take away the temptation of me constantly going back and playing them. I have a friend I've been trying to get into the game for a while. So I might see if he wants to. Like, I think it's best to start a new account when you join a game. But he might just be more interested in having a slightly better account. So that might tempt him over to the game. Yeah, referrals is a little bit different. You can always play referrals. You're playing 26 accounts in parallel, all in one clan. That's a lot of accounts. That's a lot of accounts. That's a nice piece. That's usable.
Play.
Back, let's go see. I think that's. Ooh, this was just the piece I was looking at. That's actually better, but yeah, okay. It's not a clear. Yeah, I used to play not WoW. I used to play Lord of the Rings online with a guy who was a multi-box player, so he had multiple computers, and he would typically play at least 2 or 3, if not sometimes 4 characters simultaneously. Like, we would do raids where he would be raiding on 3 characters. And so some people are down for that kind of thing. It's not my thing. Like, I think I like doing one thing at a time. I like doing one thing at a time and doing it as well as possible, I guess. I don't mind multitasking when I have to, but it's not something I'm going to opt into to that extreme. There you are. Hey, Bandit, how you doing? Big boy.
Oh. Oh, is Bandit on the stream now?
Yeah. We had Piper on the stream. We got to get Bandit on the stream. Equal time.
You got to. Equal representation.
Oh, there's a dog.
Yeah.
He's being a cute, handsome boy.
You did 3 characters. Yeah. I get it. There's an appeal to it. There's definitely an appeal to it. And I am an altaholic. I'm definitely, when I play MMOs, I want to run up one of every character. I usually have a main who I identify the most with, but I want to run a tank, a DPS, and a healer. I always want to run one of each. So that I can always fill a raid role, regardless of what's going on. Usually I'll run 2 tanks. usually I'll run my tank first, then I'll probably run a second tank, then I'll run the healer, and then I'll run the DPS last. And that's just sort of the way I think of it. Or maybe I'll run tank, then healer, then tank, then DPS. But I usually want to be able to run every role, and I'm usually a raid lead, so typically I'll have like my main tank so I can run my main group, and then I'll grab a second tank. Sometimes I'll grab a third tank. So like in Star Wars: The Old Republic, I had 3 of the 4 tanks. I think that's right. How many tanks were there? How many tanks were there? I don't even remember anymore. Maybe there were only 3 tanks. But I had multiple tanks. Yeah, I end up with like 6, 7, 8 raid level champions or characters. It always happens that way. It's just like unavoidable. The longer I play an MMO, the more alts I run up. Yeah, I've played games like that where you can play everything on just one character. I kind of don't like it. Like, I kind of like it, but I kind of don't like it. I would prefer my characters to have their identities. So I don't want it to be like, well, you can be a tank and then just respec and be the healer, and then respec and be the DPS, and then respec and be the crowd control, and then respec and be a different kind of tank. It's like, I would just rather you specialize, like, this is my tank character. I don't mind being able to respec my character, but respec roles is different. Like, so like if you have let's say you have a champion, and your champion can be like a damage dealing champion or a tank champion, like that's fine. And then you can respec between those 2 roles because it's the same character, but I don't know. I maybe I'm a purist about it or whatever. I just feel like each character should have an identity. Yeah, Steven, I love Lotro too. I ran Warden. That was my main. I did run a lot of other champions. Although, let's see. I ran a Berg. Burglar was my second highest raid champion, like raid so ready champion.
Cool right now.
Looks so freaking cool right now. So those were my 2 favorites, probably. I did run an RK Runekeeper that I liked quite a bit, although I don't know if he was really raid ready. And then I had a captain and I had a champion. I had I had a hunter at one point. I had a guardian. And then I ran up a Bjorning when we went back, right? Because I'm a bear. I'm a motherfucking bear. That was just fun running around being a bear. Anything that could be soloed, I soloed on my Warden. There wasn't anything that the Warden couldn't solo. That could be soloed. There was nothing anybody could solo that a Warden couldn't also solo. It was much harder to solo on most other things. Although Wardens are the most complex, they still are probably the most complex character class. So it was difficult to master the class, which is why I gravitated towards it. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, they were awesome. They were awesome. How's Spider going? You shaving any time off there?
It was about a minute 30 to a minute 50. That's a little over a minute. So all things considered, better than it was before.
That's good. Minute 13. Yeah.
Yeah. My best time is 50 seconds, and I have no idea what that team was. But I think what might have happened is at some point some champions got upgraded, and so now their speeds are different, and then
Yeah.
their skill orders are falling in different places, and it's just
Yeah, it can also be like if you don't have 100% turn meter control, it could be like a time you landed or didn't land the turn meter control in the right spot, and that allowed the HP burns to tick better. You know, so it's like a combination of the HP burn RNG and then the turn meter decrease RNG.
yeah. This run, it's on a pretty good pace. Normally, it goes pretty smoothly to like the 50-second mark, and then it slows down again.
Yeah.
All those spider animations, man. They just need to. So, did you get done what you needed to do? Did you do it?
All right. Finished my arena battle so I can pick up my new arena tokens because, like I said yesterday, they just throw arena tokens at me right now. And I feel like they're just throwing mad arena tokens at us. So many more hours a day in arena than there used to be. I need to reach 30,000 HP with a single champion. Ooh, Rathalos is not even close. Wow. Okay. Yeah, he won't hit it. I was kind of hoping he would hit it, but I guess he won't. It'll have to be my Melga when she gets to 5 stars. All right, so I think that is it for today. I'm about out of gas. We went like an hour longer than I thought I was going to last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
pretty good.
it was great to be back here and streaming with all of you folks. Thanks so much for hanging out and being patient with me while I'm recovering from COVID. I don't know what it's going to look like. Probably I'll pay a price tomorrow for spending so much energy today. Like I said, it is that up and down kind of thing with COVID where it's not just one peak. Like you have to deal with it and ride it out. So tomorrow is Monday. Was there something? Oh, we're going to try to get the clan situated this week. Try to get that 5th clan in there. So if you are waiting on that clan application to be processed, hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of days. And then Tuesday we're back with our Tuesday takeovers. And Sun is, yes, he's a troll. He's a troll living that bachelor life. He's one of the two. But he's not the boy in the cupboard. He's just not. All right. Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out.
Please, sir.
Yeah, my throat's going to be a little bit unhappy.
Can I just leave the cupboard?
No. Get in your closet.
Just some sunlight.
Stop making noise.
Please, sir.
Hey, if you ruin this for me, I'm going to come in there and punish you. No. Okay.
Please, sir. Just
Stop
some
it.
sunlight.
You know what I'm going to do?
Oh, no.
Oh, nobody can hear you anymore. Nobody can hear your cries. No one can hear them. I can hear them. I can hear them. There's sweet music to my ears. I'm the only one who can hear them, but nobody else can hear you right now. Nobody else will hear you while you cry. All right, it's just you, isn't it? All right, why don't you say goodbye to the good people, son?
Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. What's left of it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay awesome.
Stay awesome. Thanks, everybody. We will see you soon. Have a good one.